The following is a totally real human's totally real reaction to finding out her son's dad has been murdered by gunshot to the face.
I'm going to tell you some bad news. Your ex-boyfriend, is it? Ex-husband?
I just call him my son's dad.
Son's dead.
We weren't ever married, but...
he died today.
What? How? What happened?
Someone shot him in the face.
In the face? Where?
On his postal route.
He was working today? He doesn't...
Yep. Yeah, he was working, and someone came up and shot him.
Oh, well, there you go. She's not a suspect. She didn't even know he was working today. Send her home. She's not involved. That's what she expected Detective Desmond to think. By the way, this is Detective Steve Desmond. He's a lawful good, by-the-book cop who doesn't stand for corruption or tricks. He also won't change himself to be fake as a method of building rapport. He just conducts interrogations as himself. I know all this because I interviewed him after I watched this amazing interrogation. And typically, I am more of a fan of the chaotic good detectives who play tricks to get the bad guys off the streets. But Detective Steve Desmond is nonetheless a genius at his own style of interrogation, especially considering that he must work within the strict confines of his own philosophy of treating all suspects with respect. And this interrogation was still an amazing watch because the suspect, Devan Schriener, is just too unbelievably dumb. She's such a bad actress, but she really believes she's doing great. Man, where do I even begin with this one? I'm gonna give the case details first. Then I'm gonna give you the behind-the-scene details that I learned from interviewing Detective Desmond. If you want to skip one or both of these segments and get straight to the interrogation, see the timestamps in the description below. For the rest of you, let's start at the beginning. Jason Schaefer, the father of Devan Schreiner's son, was seemingly ambushed while on his postal route, shot 3 times after he got out of his delivery van. Devan Schriener was an immediate suspect, as court records showed that Jason had filed a request to modify his parenting time with his and Devan's son just 2 days before the shooting. Moreover, Devan was fired from her job 2 weeks ago. She too was an employee of the post office in which Jason worked, and she was fired because of a dispute with Jason in the workplace. The post office kept Jason aboard, but they fired Devan, a sign that Devan was the instigator of the incident. And to make matters worse, Jason had recently begun dating Devan's sister. And so detectives immediately began investigating Devan, who likely harbored a grudge. In their investigation, the detectives discovered that Devan was having an affair with a man who worked as a prison guard, an Andrew Ritchie. He too was put under the spotlight. Security cameras found Andrew's car to be following Jason's delivery van the day of the murder. GPS data from Andrew's phone also showed his phone to have pinged all along Jason's mail delivery route. And shortly before the murder, Andrew's phone pinged right next to Devan's. Moreover, Andrew and Devan were on the phone with each other all morning long before the killing. It was almost as if Devan was directing Andrew on how to kill her ex-boyfriend, as she knew his postal route and routine. But the detectives needed more than just a theory, and so they called both Devan and Andrew to request they come down to the police station. Both played dumb at first, but ultimately agreed. We will watch Devan's interview first, and now for some behind-the-scenes info for context. According to my interview with Detective Desmond, undercover police were assigned to follow both Devan and Andrew after they had been requested to come down to the police station. The detective believed that there was a possibility the suspects would flee, and so they were tailed. Devan had agreed to go to the police station later that day, but she went about her daily errands until then. And as the undercover cops followed and watched her, they noticed Devan go about life as if nothing were wrong. She met people, she chatted happily. There were no outward signs of distress. However, upon parking her car at the police station, her demeanor completely changed. She ran into the police station and began freaking out once inside. She acted flustered and confused. Detective Desmond chose not to play into her frame and instead calmly led her into the interrogation room. Outside the interrogation room was another detective assigned to this case, a postal detective. But as these two detectives had different interview philosophies, Detective Desmond requested they perform their interrogation separately, with Desmond going first. Command staff also wanted to be in the room at the same time, but Detective Desmond refused as he prefers one-on-one interviews. So Detective Desmond entered the room alone with Devan, knowing that everyone was watching live in the next room. The command staff, the postal detective, the district attorney, everyone. Let's see how it went.
I think they're gonna bring him down this way. Okay, well I need him to be here now. I saw my father's car outside and I'm not really sure why he's here.
Your father's car?
Yeah.
Who's your dad?
His name is Raul.
Raul?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he not allowed to see your kiddo?
He's a registered sex offender, so he better not be around my kid.
Okay.
I'm not sure who's where, but he's safe right now.
Who is he with?
He's gonna be with an officer right now, so.
Okay, because the previous officer that I spoke to on the phone said that he was with my sister, and she doesn't have custody of him either, because she's not his guardian.
Okay.
So I need to know where my kid is, and I need to know what's happening, because nobody's telling me anything.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know what's happening either. I just got here as well. I was just told to come walk you in, so I'm sure they're bringing somebody down. We're gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Do you want to take a seat for a second? You can stay standing if you'd like, but okay. It sounds like somebody's coming here in just a second. Let me see if somebody's on their way. You can go see if they're doing that way.
I don't understand what happened.
Okay. I don't know I don't know what's happening either. So I'm sorry. I'm just the meeting person. Do you have custody of your kiddo?
Me and his father shared
Okay.
half and half custody.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
And we'll get all that taken care of and figure it out here. Okay. We definitely know your son is safe. And
You know he's safe. I don't know he's
Okay.
safe. Nobody called me.
Okay.
I live in Fort Collins. Like, I work in Loveland. I live in Fort Collins, and nobody called me. I had coworkers I haven't spoken to, well, past coworkers, I guess, that I haven't spoken to in years, telling me that my son's father was in an accident,
Okay.
and that I should check on my kid. And, like, nobody told me anything.
Okay.
So Detective Desmond will be here in 1 sec, and he's got more answers than I do.
Where is my son?
He is at the police department, and he is safe with
So
the
he's
officers
not
right now.
here?
This is the police department. He is here.
Okay,
somewhere.
well,
I just
why
don't
is
know
he
which
not
one.
here with me? I need him to be here with me. I haven't seen him, and I don't know what's happened. He was taken from his school without my knowledge or consent. And I don't know what's happened to his father. So where is he? He needs to be here.
Can I have the detective talk to you first, and he'll explain what's going on?
I don't know why he wasn't here when I got here, but I need my son. I am worried about my son. He is 5 years old. And I don't think any of you have told him anything that's happened. I don't even know what's happened.
Okay, he's here right now, so we'll figure it out. All right.
All right. Okay, thank you. Mind if I shut the door for private?
I don't really care. I want my son. Where is my son?
I'll tell you everything. How about that? You're Devan?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing it right?
Yes.
I'm Steve. You can call me Steve. We gotta kind of step back here a little bit. I gotta tell you some bad news. Your ex-boyfriend, is it? Ex-husband?
I just call him my son's dad.
Son's dead.
We were never married, but
He died today.
what? How? What happened?
Someone shot him in the face.
In the face? Where?
On his postal route.
He was working today? He doesn't.
Yep. Yeah, he was working, and someone came up and shot him.
When did this happen?
12:32 today.
It is 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So it's kind of a long story. You know, in 2021 in July, they changed all of the laws, saying we have to record everything in police work. If we don't, then we get punished and everything. And I got a lot to tell you, a lot to share with you. I want to tell you that your son's safe right now. But I want to read you your rights just so you know about it. Let you know that we're recording this because we have to. We have to record everything. And just so don't play the games with you, because I don't like to play games with people.
Read me my rights?
Yeah, just to get it out of the way.
For what reason?
Well, it's your son's dad died today, and so please typically look at the butler or the ex or somebody who owes him a lot of money. So we want to at least ask you some questions about him, do our due diligence. I don't think he has a butler, so we got to rule the butler out. So we at least got to ask you some questions about how he died. Maybe you know something about it.
I was at work today.
Okay, perfect. You got a good excuse. Shouldn't be a big deal. But I want to ask you about it. I want to exonerate you if possible, and then move on to the next suspect. Do my job and see. Work. I mean, I'm sure you're concerned about his death, and you want to investigate it fully. You don't want us to sweep anything under the rug.
No, of course not. But
in police investigations, this is like standard 101 stuff. You got to rule out the butler. You got to rule out the ex. You got to rule out the bookie who owes a lot of money to, and start working it. It could just be a random shooting, but we gotta do a due diligence and figure it out. And our cases are reviewed by the DA's office, and they want us to do it right. People have a lot of pressure on us, making sure that we do the right thing. And so I don't want to do anything because the case is so serious. I don't want to do anything to violate your rights. Anything like that. So everyone that
my rights and my son's rights were violated when you took him from school and did not contact me.
Yeah.
Devin wasn't accepting of the police policy of not giving a child of a deceased parent to the other parent, but there are reasons for this policy. 2 reasons, actually. First, the other parent might be a murderer, which seems to be true in this case. But second, the police also don't want an emotionally distressed parent taking care of a child who has just lost a parent, even if that parent isn't a murderer. If the remaining parent seems emotionally disturbed, the police department will request the assistant of social services to temporarily care for that child.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk to you about. So let me read your rights, just so you know what they are. Have you ever seen cop shows?
Yeah.
They're on like every night. And these are the same rights. I'm going to read them to you, although you probably know them. Maybe see. So let me read them to you. Can I still call you Devin, right?
Yes.
All right, Devin, let's get through this. Devin, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to our lawyer prior to any questioning, to have him for her. It's kind of a sexist norm. Present during any questioning. If you desire the presence of a lawyer and cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one to represent you without any charge. You can decide any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Devin, do you understand these rights that it's found here?
Yes.
And having these rights in mind, can I talk to you now?
Yes.
And will you sign this for me? Give me your John Hancock. Where are you working now?
I work at the post office in Loveland.
Okay, how do you like that?
It's fine.
So I want to talk to you about this case.
I need to see my son.
We need to figure out what's going on and how your husband, how your baby's father died. So we're not gonna let the son go just yet.
Wait, he doesn't need to go, but if he can can I at least see him first?
Right now, no.
Why?
Right now, no. Because we gotta figure out if the butler killed your the baby daddy's son, or if you killed the baby daddy's son, or if the bookie killed him, or if it's a random person killed him. I don't know who killed him, and I don't want to turn over the ex to the baby until I know that everything's legit and that you're calm and that you're rational and you're not a crazy person, because I've never met you before.
I'm not calm.
Yeah.
My son was taken. Nobody told me that anything happened. My son was taken from school by either police, and I was not informed, or by somebody who is not legally allowed to pick him up from school.
Yeah. So here's what's going on. We went out to the school and we said we don't want anyone picking up the child until we figure out who's who and who's safe, who we can release the child to. If the ex-husband shows up at the school and the wife's dead, we're not going to release the kid to the ex-husband who just killed the mother. That's going to put the kid in harm's way. So that's just standard police 101 business.
But nobody called me.
Yeah.
When did you pick him up from school?
Probably about 3.
Okay, I called his daycare at 5-ish, and she said he was still there.
Well, maybe we picked him up at 4:30ish then.
It doesn't matter. I called him called the lady that runs the daycare, because I also used to work for her because she knows me.
Okay.
And she said yes, is still here with us.
Okay. So maybe, I don't think she's lying. We probably picked him up at 4:30. I didn't go there. I hadn't been to the school. But when we got a homicide like this, we had a lot of people working on it.
Okay, but then they have my contact information.
Yeah.
So they couldn't have said...
Yeah, you're not listening, though. We didn't want them to release the child to you.
Don't release him to me, but nobody even told me his whereabouts.
Well,
I thought he was with his father.
The police escorted him back here, and Rosa was here as well.
Why? She is not his guardian.
No, she's not his guardian.
Okay, then why was she here?
We're not releasing her yet. We want to find out.
So she's with him? She's with my son?
We're all with. She's being interviewed by a detective because we're not sure who she is.
She's my sister.
The child is here. The child is being interviewed by a forensic interviewer.
He should not be interviewed because I didn't give consent for him to be spoken to.
He's a witness, so he doesn't need consent from a person.
Was he there? Was he in the...
But he's going to tell us about the relationship between you and his father.
But I don't...
You don't understand.
He's 5.
Well, he might not have anything to say. But
no, I don't understand how this can all happen without me even knowing that anything happened in the first place.
Because we don't release children to abusive husbands that kill their wives.
So you're saying that I am abusive and I killed his father?
I'm saying that this is police standard practice 101. We don't release children to people we don't know.
I'm not asking you to release him. I am asking why I was not contacted in any sort of form about my child's whereabouts or that there was even an incident.
I don't know about that specifically. I know we wanted to find you and we were trying to track you down.
You could have found me when you picked him up from school because they have my information. I pay for him to go to that school. Yeah. They have that information.
Well, I'm going to talk to the officer that did that. Like I said, I wasn't there. Okay. We're kind of going around in circles here. I'd like to exonerate you if you didn't have anything to do with this and get you out of this police department.
Yes, because I would like to see my son.
I don't think you want to hang out with me, and I think you want to see your son, and I want to check off all the boxes, make sure we can release the Sunday night.
I saw my father. I saw my father's car in the parking lot. Is he here as well?
I don't know. What? Who's your father?
His name is Raul. He's tall, brown Mexican dude.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We had about 30 detectives working on this. There's a lot of people here. We brought in a lot of neighbors. We brought in a lot of other people. So I'm not sure. So let's go back a little bit so I can see who you are and see whether or not I can release a child to you. Does anyone have it out for your, what do you refer to him as? You just refer to him as
I just literally say my son's father or
Son's father.
Jason.
Jason? Do you know of anyone that want to get Jason in trouble?
In trouble? No.
Or out to get him? Want to shoot him?
No.
Nothing like that? Okay. Does it surprise you that someone would go up and shoot him?
Yes, it surprises me a lot. I don't.
Okay.
I didn't know. I don't know anybody that would want to hurt him.
How long have you dated Jason? Or how would you describe the relationship? How long have you known him? Whatever you're comfortable answering to.
I've known him since. I don't know. Sorry, language.
I hear it all. You're fine. You are not going to offend me.
Okay, I was like, I don't know, how old's my kid? He's almost 6, so, he was born in 15, so I've known him since, like, October, November of 2014.
Okay. Good relationship? Have the police been to your house every week? How would you describe that? I mean, people date and they break up. How was your relationship?
It was never great. I mean, it started out okay, and then we had him, and I mean, it wasn't great. He left us when he was 6 months. He moved out, and we tried, I guess, a couple of times to work things out, but it never worked.
Okay. I don't want to get up in your business and know all that, but police aren't there every day. Nothing.
No.
Just a bad relationship that didn't take off the ground.
I had filed a restraining order against him back in, I don't know, 2015, 2016 at the end or the beginning of the year. I don't remember. We had an altercation, and I asked him to leave my house because he wasn't living there anymore, and he got a little physical while I was holding my son, and he was an infant at the time. And so I filed it to get him to back off a little bit, and when I went to make it permanent, they're like, you know how hard this is going to be, like, if you make it permanent, like, it's going to be really hard to do transitions because he has partial custody and all of this stuff, so that's going to be really hard, like, you understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a new mom, like, I couldn't do it by myself, and
Raising kids is tough.
yeah, and I was like, I don't, hopefully that won't happen again, and so I didn't make it permanent.
Okay. Well, that's understandable. Everyone has their reasons for getting restraining orders, and everyone has their own reason why they don't make it permanent, and I'm not here to judge your actions about why you decided to do what you decided was best for you. So, just trying to get a snapshot of your relationship. So I want to transition a little bit here. Longmont's an awesome department to work for. When we have a homicide, we have all of our property crime detectives go out. We have all of our person crime detectives go out. We have all of our undercover detectives go out. We have all of our gang and crime suppression units go out. We have a lot of people in this case, and we've worked the case quite a bit. I don't pretend to know everything that happened, but there are some things that are really kind of concerning me. We saw your car in the area of the crime scene. Your car was a Nissan Rogue that is missing a front passenger front hubcap. We caught your car on a license plate reader a little while ago with your license plate, and it has that front passenger hubcap missing. Sure enough, in the videos around the crime scene, that car is there with that front passenger bumper or hubcap missing. You said you're at work today, but your scanner goes off before the homicide and turns back on well after the homicide, and they track your scanner that's used at work to your boyfriend's house, AJ. So that's really kind of concerning. And we caught the shooting on one of the Nest doorbell cameras from across the street. So I'm really kind of concerned. I know that you got served just the other day with the child custody order, and you're a little upset about that. You told AJ, you told Devin in the past that AJ knows where you live, and that he'll shoot you if he needs to.
I've told who?
You told that to Devin, and Devin told that
Well,
to your house, your
Devin,
sister.
but
Yeah. Well,
I'm
he
a little
heard,
confused.
Jason heard that from you, and then Jason told Rose that, and Rose told us that. And this happened about a year ago.
That
That AJ knows where you live, Jason, and AJ will shoot you, Jason. You said that.
I said that? I've never said that.
So why is your car in the crime scene area? Why are you in that area in your car, and why are you turning off your scanner?
I didn't turn off my scanner.
You did.
No, I
The
did not
postal inspectors are here.
turn off my scanner.
Or you didn't go with the scanner. The scanner's at your boyfriend's house, or somewhere in that area, in front of it, or in a bush somewhere in that area. It wasn't with you. Okay, they have a breadcrumb trail on GPS on your scanner.
Yes.
And the postal inspectors were here, and they said, before the homicide, you're not doing anything with the scanner. It's stationary for like 3 hours or more. And it should be mobile because you're working, but it's at your boyfriend's house. And why is your car in the crime scene area?
I don't.
We've got video of your car in the crime scene area.
I don't know why it would be on camera that my car was down there, but I don't.
Listen,
If I don't scan
packages.
then obviously I'm not doing that. But I did stop I did stop at his house for my lunch break, sort of.
Devin, I think you're a good person, but something's not right here. I think the gig is up. There's something weird going on here. Everything is pointing to you being involved in this shooting. People don't go around just shooting most of the people.
I mean,
What?
I work for the post office, and I have before, and I have been.
Supposedly you're on video 2 weeks ago breaking into the Longmont post office. That's a separate issue.
Didn't break in. I work for the post office. I'm
Not
allowed to
that branch.
go in.
But who cares about that? That's just a stupid burglary.
Burglary.
Yeah. Let's talk about the homicide. Why are you, what's your involvement in this? Because I think there's a lot more than you're telling us. The video of the shooter looks kind of like you. It's from a distance, but it looks like your height and your build. It doesn't look like AJ's height and build. It doesn't look like Castaneda's height and build. It looks like your build with a black hoodie. Now, we're going to search your house. We're going to search your car. We're going to seize your car. We're going to do a gunshot residue test on you.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we're not going to leave any stone unturned, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. And this is your out to tell me what type of involvement you have, because it's very concerning. Your car being there, you turning your scanner, not bringing your scanner, and GPS not moving during the homicide. You're getting served just the other day with custody papers.
I got an email about it saying that they were going to file something.
On like the 11th. You had to serve with some sort of court notice of change in custody, something.
Well, I just got an email saying that we were going to have to go to court for it.
So what's going on here? Are you behind this homicide? Is AJ behind the homicide? We got 2 different cars, it looks like.
Two different cars?
Yeah, it looks like there's a car leaving the scene of the crime. Maybe it's just a witness who saw the shooting and is getting out of there. Maybe it's the shooter, but we saw your car in there moments before the shooting. And there can't be that many Nissan Rogues that are 2017 that are missing the front passenger cab. So you're involved in this, okay? I want to know what your involvement is. Did a boyfriend try to tell you that he's going to take care of this? Were you involved in it? Because someone is there doing this. It's not a random shooting. And so the gig is up, okay?
I read on the way here about what happened, and they said that a man shot him.
That's what we originally thought. Yeah. Now we're thinking it could be you. We're thinking it could be maybe
Thanks?
a boyfriend. Thank you. That's not the question. That's not the right answer. We're trying
What
to
am I supposed to
We're trying
say?
to get all this evidence together. We're trying to put the pieces together, and I don't think you're being truthful with me. and I want to know why your car's there, why you're not using the scanner, why the scanner was left there. It looks like you're involved in this. So tell me why you're not involved in this. The whole thing about staying at your boyfriend's house for 3 hours doesn't seem very credible to me. So I'm asking you, did you have AJ do something? Do you think AJ was involved in something like this? Do you think
No.
Castaneda, or if not, maybe it looks like it's you?
Castaneda, I don't.
The other boyfriend,
I
Castaneda.
Well, I know who that is. I just don't understand how he's.
I don't know, one of your boyfriends, one of your associates. Someone killed your ex, and we want to find out who it is. It seems like you're involved. Your car is there. You left your scanner with GPS back at AJ's house. Your ex, who you've said AJ would kill, is now dead.
I've never said that.
Well, I don't care. I wasn't there. I'm not. That's what Rosa said, but I don't care. I didn't hear that. That's what Rosa's saying. It could have just been a off the cuff remark. But we're gonna do a gunshot.
It
test.
could be her being like, "Hey."
We're gonna do a gunshot residue test on
What do you
you.
mean A?
No, we're gonna do a gunshot residue test on you to see if you have any. When you fire a gun, all this gunshot powder comes out and it covers your face, your hair, your clothes, your hands. Have you been around any guns lately? Have you been shooting anything lately?
No.
So we do a gunshot residue test. It's going to come back negative.
It better.
Listen,
I feel like
I'm trying to figure out if you did this or if someone else did this. And my bet is you have someone else involved in this, maybe a friend. And so I'm trying to figure out if you talk to me about this. I don't think this is a coincidence that your ex got shot in the face today. It looked like a hit. Looks like someone pulled up, ran out, shot him, ran back to the car, sped off, fired 5 times. He died right there. So I'm going to take this seriously, and I want to exonerate you to have nothing to do with this. I don't want to arrest you if you didn't do this. Does that make sense? I don't want to arrest anyone that didn't do a crime. But your car is there. Your car is there. You turn your scanner off. Your GPS, well, you didn't turn it off. We're not going to mince words. You left your scanner at your boyfriend's house. You said you were at work all day. You're not at work.
I am at work. I'm on my route.
For like 3 hours, you left your scanner there?
I stopped. I left it in the truck while I went into the house.
And then your car is in the crime scene. That's a lot for a jury to try to swallow. So we saw the car in the area, but there's also another car. So that's why I'm thinking maybe someone else is involved. Maybe things went a little too far, and you thought maybe your boyfriend was going to rough him up, and then, oh crap, your boyfriend shot someone. And I don't want to look at you for this. There are exes out there, men, women, that say, this guy's doing me dirty, go send him a message. You're not going to go fight your ex. You're not going to go punch him. That'd be too easy. But send someone else in to rough him up. And you sent him in to rough him up, and holy crap, he shot him. And maybe that's not what you were expecting. Maybe you just want him roughed up a little bit. Or he said, I'm going to go rough him up. You're like, no, don't rough him up. But let's go over there. I'm going to rough him up. Maybe you just want to keep him calm a little bit. And then instead of roughing him up, he kills him. So I'm trying to find out. I think you're definitely involved in this. But maybe you're down here where you're just trying to prevent something. Okay? Maybe you don't want this hothead, whoever it is, to go beat him up. Maybe
He's
you don't want.
not a hothead.
Well, I don't know who he is, but whoever's there, maybe they went too far and you didn't know it. So that's why I'm trying to give you some type of plausible deniability. This happens all the time. I can tell you some stories about it if you want to, but my favorite story about this is a basketball player. A basketball player is playing basketball and he sees some fan heckling him, right? And the fan is saying, oh, you suck. Well, the guy goes up there and beats up the fan, right? Terrible. He's in the paper. He's getting crucified in the paper. He's an elite athlete making millions of dollars a year. They have security to go out and take care of these guys. Next week, another guy, I think it's Andre Davis, he goes up in the stands and beats someone up. Is that the same thing? I mean, on the surface level it is, but if you don't do your job as a detective, you might not realize that this guy, Andre Davis, someone was messing with his wife, like harassing his wife, smacking his wife around. He ran up to the stands to do his husbandly duty to protect his wife. So that's why he did it. The other guy, he's down here. He just goes up there because he's a punk and beats up a fan. Andre Davis goes up there, does the same thing, but he does it to protect his wife. So, two same things, and if we don't get to the bottom of this and find out what's really going on, where are you on the spectrum? Are you this thug that goes into the stands and beats someone up? Or are you this other person who's just trying to calm things down, get things under control? That's what I want to know. That's a mitigating circumstance. If things got out of control, I want to know it. And this is your chance to tell me. Because something happened, and you're involved somehow, to some degree. And I want to know it. If your boyfriend or your friend or some guy you hired maybe to beat him up, things went too far, this is the time to come forward and come clean and let me know.
Did I hire?
I don't know who this guy is just yet, but we're going to find out. We're searching your car, we're going to search your phone, we're going to do this gunshot residue test, maybe everything will come back clean, and that's great. That's great, because I don't want to arrest the wrong person. But if there's someone else involved in this, we're going to find out. And if that other person says you're involved in this, it looks bad on you. So this is your chance to tell me someone went way too far, and I didn't want him to shoot him. I thought he was going to talk to him. I thought he was going to say, hey, knock this shit off. I thought he was going to try to reason with him. I thought he was going to say, hey, this has gone too far. Let's get this under control. And I was going to let him try it, but he shows up there all of a sudden, he's shooting him. There wasn't two people there. There was just one shooter. And so I'm thinking, I got to do my job as a detective. And if you didn't do this, I need to get you off the hook for it. I need to say, she wasn't involved, she came clean, she panicked. She didn't call the police right away because she was scared. Your ex just got shot in the face. And you don't want to turn this guy in because you're thinking you're scared. I understand that. I mean, I've been a detective for 28 years. These things happen, but now we got to take a deep breath. Now we got to say, there's more to the story than you think, Steve. You need to say, Steve, I'm not a bad person. Steve, I can't tell you what happened, but it got too far, and you got to get this off your chest. Because I believe you have some knowledge of this. I believe your car is in the area. The whole thing with the scanner, all of these things are starting to add up. We're going to search your phone. We're going to get clothing and test that. We're going to test your hands. Something happened, and you didn't cover your tracks if you're involved in this. And we're going to find out about it. So now is a good time before we find out about it. We will find this person. We've got like 65 cops working on it, 65 detectives. We've got the whole postal investigation team here. We're going to find out about it. Now's your chance, if you didn't have anything to do with this, to come clean. Say, Steve, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't know if you'll even believe me, but I want you to try. I want you to try to trust me, to believe me, that if you didn't have anything to do with this and something got out of hand, I want to help you. Because the gig is up.
You're not really in the business of trusting people.
So I'm not saying I trust you or I trust this guy. I'm asking you to trust me. Because if you didn't do this and things got out of control and you panicked and you didn't think this guy was going to kill him, you thought maybe he's going to rough him up, that's understandable. So that's why I want you to trust me, if something like that happened.
I understand why I would be a suspect because of who I am related to him.
And your car.
But I don't. There was things in the past that have happened with him and I that I could have gone to court, or I could have tried to call the police. I mean, I have, and it didn't help. But there's other things that I could have done. Why would I shoot him?
I don't know why people ever shoot people. And I'm not saying you shot him. Maybe someone else shot him. Maybe people just lost their temper. Someone shot him. We know that. Someone shot him 5 times in the face. That's kind of a lot of hatred. They didn't steal anything from him. They didn't have any issue with him. There wasn't a traffic road rage case. Someone shot him because they were really upset with him. They shot him in cold blood. They shot him 5 times and let him bleed to death there. That's someone who knows this guy. And you know him very well. And you know the people who know him very well.
I don't know the people that know him.
You know AJ, you know Castaneda.
They don't know him.
Your car was there. Okay? Your car was there. So tell me someone borrowed your car.
I was at work on my route, which is not close to not super close to the post office.
Why is your car in Longmont when your scanner is...
I don't know. I am on my route working.
Do you work in a mail truck or your personal car?
No, I work in a mail truck.
Okay. So why is your car down here killing your ex?
I don't know. But it sounds
understand
like...
why that's so concerning to me.
Yes, I do understand that.
Borrow your car? Help me out here.
I don't know, but it seems like with all of these things that you're going to be doing that I need to have a lawyer or ask for a lawyer, or I don't know.
Yeah, you can have a lawyer.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say about that, but...
Detective Desmond doesn't try to push the limit when suspects infer that they want a lawyer. Boulder County, where Detective Desmond works, is particularly strict about this. Judges in Boulder County commonly dismiss a case if a suspect implies that they want a lawyer during an interview. However, Devan wasn't direct enough to where her words could legally be construed to be a request for a lawyer. The detective doesn't stop, despite being especially careful with regard to lawyer requests, because he knows clearly where the line is and Devan didn't cross it yet. Moreover, the head DA was watching and would have put a stop to the interview if Devan had crossed that line. Post-interview, the DA confirmed that the lawyer remark didn't count as a request for counsel due to being too indirect.
I'm going to honor
that, but...
I'm going to take your phone. I'm going to apply for a search warrant to search it. I'm going to have a female come in here and help you get changed out in privacy off camera so we preserve your rights. I'm not going to ask you any more questions about this homicide. And so let's get that going, okay? I'm going to treat you with respect and let me get that going, okay?
So, Rosa's here, and is that it? Is she going through the same thing?
We've interviewed her. I don't know who's interviewing her, how they're acting her, what they've asked her, but her car is not in the scene. I really don't. You said you don't want to talk to me and you want a lawyer, and I don't want to try to trick you and say, well, keep talking to me, keep asking me questions, and we're going to abuse your rights. If you want a lawyer, stop, and that's fine. But I don't want to violate your rights. I take your rights very seriously.
That's fine. I don't. That's fine.
Yeah. Let me get the Detective Jones in here.
Sure.
And she's not listening. Is Cassidy there?
Yep.
Oh. So you got the GSR kit?
Yes.
You did that for him?
Yes, I sure did.
Can I get you anything to drink or anything? I don't want to be a jerk to you.
Get some water. I don't know.
I'll get you some water.
Are we?
So we're gonna do a GSR kit. We're gonna seize your clothing, and that could help exonerate you or implicate you in the crime. Hopefully, it exonerates you and shows that you didn't do it. Hopefully, this gunshot residue kit exonerates you and shows that you didn't do it. Then we're gonna probably just get you out here. Your son is not going home with you. We're going to talk to the Department of Health and Human Services, have a social worker decide who should get the kid, because I'm not convinced that you're not involved in this.
So I can't even see him. You put him in the back of a police car and brought him here, and he hasn't gotten to see me or anybody.
I'm not here to punish you. I'm going to treat you with respect. I'm going to ask, and if the powers that be say, yeah, let her see her. but I'm a little concerned about what happened today. And I'm concerned for the son's for safety, because I don't know what happened yet.
At this point, Detective Desmond felt he had done all he could. According to my interview with him, Detective Desmond felt that she wouldn't open up to him. She hated me, he told me on the phone, but I wanted to get her locked into a story before I passed her on to the post office detective. When I asked him whether he was proud of his work in this interrogation, he answered in the negative. She was impossible to develop rapport with, and she had one clear goal: to get possession of her son, which wasn't going to happen. Other detectives might have dangled Devan's son in front of her as a bargaining chip, but Detective Desmond's personal philosophy of interrogation is to be upright and honest with suspects. There was no way she would have been getting her son, and that was a deal breaker in Devan's mind. And so Detective Desmond passed the interrogation baton to the post office detective, who had a different strategy. Let's watch.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Can you step out for just one moment? So real quick, one thing before you step out, just 'cause we're in a secure area, we didn't check you for any weapons. Do you have any on yet?
No.
Can you stand up? Just let me check real quick, and you can sit back down, okay? You don't have to be nice or anything that'll help me. Okay.
Bazookas.
I just don't want to get.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I didn't see anything when you ran in, but then when we were back here, realized I didn't do a good check. Okay, go ahead and turn around for me. Just got the little pockets, looks like. Okay, thank you. You can, here's a water.
All right. We're gonna get this going here.
Hey, Devin.
I'm gonna introduce you to someone real quick.
I just arrived. I'm a U.S. Postal Inspector. So my name's Ken. So I know you work for the post office and have worked for the post office.
Mm-hmm.
So because this is kind of postal related and you were working today, I wanted to chit chat with you about kind of what happened and some of your activities today, okay? I understand you may have been kind of done talking with the detective, but I wouldn't mind talking to you as an inspector to find out what's going on and what happened today.
Can we also confirm, just, you said you wanted a lawyer, but I wasn't clear. Do you want to talk to him or do you want a lawyer? Whatever you decide. I don't have any more questions, but I don't want your rights to be violated.
Sure, yeah. We weren't sure because you were kind of deciding what you wanted to do, but I'd imagine this is the husband of your child.
The father.
The father of your child. So we're just trying to get this wrapped up. We're trying to figure out what happened today, okay?
Right.
So one of the things we do is talk to everybody that's around the person, anybody that they may have had a relationship with, either current or in the past. Obviously, you have a relationship with Jason. You know, you guys have a child together, so you work for the post office, he worked at the post office. We came up here, we were notified by the police department about what happened, so we went out there and took a look at what happened. We'd like to sit down and talk with you, okay? Would you be comfortable with talking to me about just kind of your activities today? And if I get to a point or a part where you don't feel comfortable, just tell me I don't want to talk about that.
Well, I mean, I already explained that I was at work today. My route is in North Loveland.
Okay.
And
Well, I guess I just came in, and I apologize, like, when you guys were already mid-conversation. I'd love to start off with, like, how long you've worked at the post office, that type of thing. How long did you work up at the Loveland post office now, but you used to work at the Longmont post office, is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I'd like to talk to you about that, if that's okay with you. And again, like I said, if you get to a point to where you just don't want to talk to me about it, that's fine. But I think, I mean, would it be accurate saying, because most of the time when I interview people that are related to, you know, somebody that was hurt, they want to help. They want to find out what happened.
Yes,
do you,
of
do you want
course.
to find out what happened?
yes, of course I want to
Okay.
find out.
Well,
what
I'm sure that
happened.
you do.
That wasn't why I wasn't answering or wanting to
Well-
talk anymore. The detective is saying that we're going to be doing all of these things that I don't understand. So
Well,
I'm
and I
not.
think, yeah, and I think he didn't understand, like, the scanner thing, because I walked in a little bit and I heard you talking about the scanner and you were trying to correct him
Right.
about kind of how the scanner works. So I thought, well, maybe if I come down there, you'd be maybe a little more comfortable talking to an inspector, so about what's going on. And I'll explain everything like he has. I've been working, you know, as an inspector for almost 20 years. So I'm just here to figure out how we can help you, how we can resolve this situation, and how we can help Jason. But I need your help to do that, okay?
Right.
I absolutely need your help. We're going to be talking to lots of different people, but I need you to help me. Would you be willing to help me?
I mean, I will, as long as it doesn't get turned around what I'm saying.
I'm not going to
just
turn around.
giving-
I'm not going to turn around one thing you say. If I say something that sounds different than what you're trying to tell me,
Right,
I
well,
want-
that's why I was correcting him, is because he said I turned off my scanner, and I did not turn off my
Yeah,
scanner.
and he doesn't know how scanners work.
Right, I understand.
So it wasn't intentional. He wasn't trying to, because we worked together before. He wasn't trying to pull any fast ones or anything. He just wasn't sure how it worked.
No
So,
clue.
so if it's okay with you, he's gonna leave. I'm gonna sit down with you. We'll keep talking. If you decide at any point you want to stop talking, just let me know that. Okay. But let's start off with: are you comfortable where you're sitting, or would you rather?
I don't really care.
Okay.
I just really want my kid, and that's not happening, so.
Yeah. Well, first off, I'm sorry about what's happened today. So today's been a stressful day for you, for your child. So I understand that.
I don't think you do.
Well, I can empathize with the fact that it's probably one of the worst days in your life. So
Well, on top of what happened, my child was picked up by the police from school, and I was not contacted.
Okay.
And I know this had nothing to do with you. I'm just.
I know. I understand. I'm a father. I've got kids myself. That would upset me too. But you know what? We'll make it right. You know what? When mistakes happen, we'll make them right.
I'm not allowed to see my son. Like, doesn't understand what's happened, and he was put in a police car, which he loves police, so I'm sure he was like, hey, this is fun.
Sure.
But he's traumatized. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. He's not allowed to see me. He's not allowed to see his father. His father's not here.
Yeah, how about as soon as we're done, let's make sure that gets scored away. I'm sure he's being taken care of right now. They have folks that would be watching him right now. But I'll make sure you see him after we chit chat, okay? But let me start off with, how long have you worked up at the Loveland post office?
Since the end of June or the beginning of July. I don't remember my exact date.
So June or July of this year?
This year, yes.
And what do you do up there? Are you a carrier?
I'm a rural carrier, yeah.
Okay. And you drive a postal vehicle?
I'm just a sub. I'm an RCA, so I don't have a regular route, but yeah, I drive it.
Okay.
Mail truck.
As an RCA, that's a rural carrier associate.
Yeah.
So you just show up. You don't have a regular route. You just show up and they say, "Hey, I need you on Route 19. I need you on Route 30. I
Yeah.
need you on Route 40."
Yeah.
Okay. What days do you work?
I work every day except for usually Mondays are my days off.
Okay. So every day but Monday, and that's your regular day off generally?
Generally. I mean,
Okay.
I feel like you would know this, but maybe not. I don't know how.
I didn't have time to pull any.
No, I don't mean that. I just mean like as a working for the post office as an inspector. Like I assume you would know how the process works.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, different offices run differently. So,
Oh.
and the schedules rotate. Sometimes you can have rotating days off.
No, yeah, no.
You see what I'm saying?
Usually have Mondays off.
Okay, okay. So, so you were working today, because
Yes.
today's Wednesday. So, where do you actually live?
I live in Fort Collins.
In Fort Collins? Do you live by yourself?
Yes, it's just me and my son.
You and your son? Okay. And how old's your son? Is he 6?
He will be 6 next week.
Okay. And what's your address in Fort Collins?
Do I have to give that to you?
No, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to. But you live with your son, and does your son goes to school? You were saying there was a deal at school. Do you drop him off, or how does he get to school?
Yes, I dropped him off. He goes to school down here.
Okay, so Jason normally drops him off for school?
Depending on whose day it is, yes.
Okay. So what happened today? You wake up at your house?
Oh, he's been with his father since Sunday.
Okay. Since Sunday, he's been with his dad. So today, you just woke up at home, and then tell me when did you get to work?
I got to work about, I don't know, 7:45, 8 o'clock
Okay, in the
in
morning.
the morning,
Okay.
and then
Is that your regular start time?
yeah, we can't start before 8 o'clock.
Okay. So it was about 7:45, 8 o'clock. Okay. And then tell me about your day. What happened after you checked in? What route did you have today?
I had Route 14, but I'm assuming that you all know that since you've checked the scanners.
I haven't personally checked it, so I don't know, honestly. I know that they pulled some scanner records, which I'll talk to you about here in a bit, but I wanted to make sure I found out what was going on because there's some kind of differing information. So I wanted to make sure I talked to you first, because obviously you know what you were doing today. So about 8 o'clock you got to work, 7:45. You did Route, did you say 14?
14.
And where is Route 14?
It's on the north side of Loveland.
Okay. So did you case mail for a while, or how does that work?
Yes, I cased most of my route, and then I cased my route. It took everything to the street, and I started delivering about 10:30.
Okay. So you left the post office around 10:30?
Yes.
Okay. So between 8 and 10:30 you were working,
Yes. that's
casing
that
your
work.
mail.
Yes.
Did you have a lot of packages?
Not today, no.
Okay. Was it like a lot of DPS mail?
There was a lot of DPS, yes. I ended up taking most of it to the street.
Okay. Was there more than one route you were doing today, or just that particular route?
No, today was just 14.
Okay. So you loaded up your truck, you left around 10:30 or so. Did you go directly to your route?
Yes.
Okay. Let me step back for a second. So you went to work. Did you stop anywhere between your house and you went getting to work?
No.
Okay. Did you drive to work?
Yes.
Okay. Did you drive to work with anybody?
No.
Okay. So you drove by yourself. Did you call anybody on the way to work? Text anybody?
I texted my man in the morning.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of, not really married, but, and then I talked to him throughout the day.
Okay. Is this your boyfriend? Or your man?
We're not technically together, but yes.
Okay. What's his name?
AJ.
AJ? Okay. Is he a postal employee?
No.
Okay. But is this somebody how long have you dated AJ?
Like I said, we're not together at the moment, but
Okay. You're just kind of off again, on again? Is that what I'm getting?
kind of. We've known each other for like 12 years.
Okay, okay. So you were talking to AJ on your way there about whatever. You showed up for worked about 2.5 hours, and then you left on your route. Did you go, so when you went to the post office, did you drive your car?
Yes.
Okay. I understand it's like a Nissan?
Yes.
Okay. Is it an SUV?
Yes.
Okay. And so you drove by yourself to the post office, parked, went in, did your route. Do you remember the vehicle that you took out, the LLV?
I mean, it's the one assigned to that route.
Okay. So each route has their own specific LLV there?
Almost all of them do, yes.
Okay.
So
you
that's the one that always is on that route.
Okay. Did your boss, when you got in, tell you that you're on Route 14 this morning?
No, it's been on the schedule, and I'm her sub. Her route is my secondary on my matrix.
Okay.
No, okay.
I'm confused about that.
You would know that.
No.
When we're hired, we're given a matrix of 3 different routes that we do every single week for when that regular carrier has the day off.
Okay, on their normal days off.
On their normal days
Okay,
off,
okay.
yes. So this is my secondary route. We have a primary, secondary, and tertiary.
Okay.
This is my secondary route, so anytime that she is off, that I'm not doing my primary route, I do this one.
Okay.
So I've done it other days than Wednesday, but I always do it on a Wednesday.
Always do it on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. Does it normally take you a couple, 2.5 hours to get your route, get your packages and everything squared away into the truck and get out there?
Usually it takes me a little bit longer than it did today, but like I said, the packages were light, so that made it me able to leave quicker.
Okay. Do most of the carriers leave around that time then, around 10:30 or so?
Yeah.
Okay.
About.
So you left there. Do you remember where your first stop is?
My first stop is a CBU on Flagler or Miramont. I can't remember which one it's off of.
Okay.
But yes, I do remember which one it is.
Do you normally do it in the same kind of way each time?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have like scanner points too along the way?
No, those are only for city.
Okay, only for city. See, you're teaching me a little something. So I work primarily in the Denver area, so I'm not really sure with the geography here. But so tell me about your day. So you started scanning packages, you started your route, and then what happened?
My guy AJ, he lives on that route, and so since Wednesdays are his day off, and things are very complicated with us, I try to see him on his day off.
Okay. So you stopped by on your route,
Yes.
hang out with him. Did you do that today?
Yes, I do it every Wednesday.
Okay, every Wednesday, that's kind of your normal routine.
Yes.
What time did you get over to his place?
I don't know. I don't know exactly when I got over there.
Okay.
I wasn't really looking at the time. I was ahead of what I normally am for that day. Not by like a lot, but like I'm there around, I don't know, noon, so I think I was a little bit ahead of schedule, so I was able to stop, and I was happy that I would be able to take a little bit more time to take a lunch and spend some time with them.
Okay. So is that what you actually did today then?
Yes.
Okay. Where does he live?
He lives on that road. I don't know if I should give his address or not.
Okay, you don't have to. When you stopped by there, did you go in?
Yes.
And was he there?
Yes.
Okay. Does he live by himself?
No.
Okay. Does he have kids or roommates?
He has kids and a ex-wife.
Oh, okay. So his ex-wife lives there. That's probably pretty complicated.
Hence the 1 day a week.
Oh, okay. Because she's not normally there on Wednesdays.
Well, not during the day.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't. Was she there today then?
No.
Okay. So when you showed up, was he by himself?
Yes.
Okay. And then I worked a lot of different assignments and stuff like that, so nothing will surprise me. I mean, did you guys hook up? What'd you guys do? Just have lunch?
No, we just ate and talked and argued.
Okay. What'd you guys eat?
We had pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls? Okay. Did both of you have pizza rolls?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what kind of pizza rolls they were?
No, I didn't make them.
Okay. Did he make them?
I'm assuming so. He was the only one there.
Okay. Well, no, I just meant, I'm not trying to trick you or anything. I'm just curious, like, did he already make lunch for you then? Did you text him or call him and let him know you were stopping by?
Well, he knows that I stopped by. It's
Okay.
just a thing.
Even though you were early, it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay. Do you have a key to his house?
No, I have a code.
Oh, like a garage code?
It's like one of those codes that you put into the door and it like turns the lock.
Okay. Is that how you went in today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But he was there. You guys had lunch together. You guys had pizza rolls. What'd you drink?
It's water.
Water. Did you drink water?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. And then, how long would you say you were there?
It was a very long time.
Okay, a very long time.
Normally I'm there about an hour and a half, but like I said, I wasn't too worried about it today because I didn't have to pick up my son. It wasn't my day to pick him up today, and I had some extra time, so.
Okay. So what did you guys do? I know you said you argued, but did you watch TV? Did you do any other activities?
No.
Okay. What were you guys arguing about?
Some stuff we always argue about.
Okay. Can you share it with me? I mean, trust me, I get into my fair share of arguments too. You don't have to go into detail if you don't feel comfortable.
I just, we've been trying to make things work for a while and they're not working, and we have a lot of differing views on things, I guess. Especially with his ex-wife living with him.
Okay. I'd imagine that that's a big source of frustration for you too, and for you specifically. Are they kind of doing it because it's a financial type thing, maybe?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
It's one of the problems.
Okay. And then, how long do you think you guys argued?
I don't know. I didn't really look at the time.
Okay. What did you do when you left his house? Did he go with you? Or you were in your postal vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys, what happened after that?
We argued for a while, and then he got angry and left, and I stayed in my truck, and I was very upset, so I was crying, and I was in my truck, and waited for a while until I was able to calm down.
Mm-hmm. What made you so upset this time as opposed to any other time?
Because I'm always upset.
Okay.
It's not any different.
When he left, where did he go?
I don't know.
Okay. What car does he drive?
He drives a big Duramax truck.
Okay. Like one of those big diesel trucks? Like one of those like big mountain or big large ones?
Yes.
Okay. So he left. How long do you think you guys were together before he left?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention at the time.
Okay. So at some point he left. You were in the postal truck, and then you decided to leave too. Where did you go after that?
I just hung out for a little bit, and then I continued my route.
Okay. And how does your route continue from there? Is that actually a delivery point on your route?
I don't know what you mean by delivery point.
Like, do you actually deliver mail to that address?
Yes, but they're mostly CBUs.
Okay.
Or they're all CBUs in that neighborhood, so when I'm going by, I just stop.
Okay.
It's not off my route. It's not out of the way. So.
Trust me, I'm not worried about it.
No.
Honestly.
I know, I'm just letting
Yeah.
you know, like, it's not.
I knew a guy that was a postal employee that would get down with his route super early and go jet skiing every day, but he got his route done. So,
Yeah.
you know, people do what people do. So when you left, you continued on your route. Did you stop anywhere else?
No, just in my route.
Okay. And did you call anybody on the phone and tell them you were upset about what had happened, or with your boyfriend? Did you say AJ? With AJ?
No. I tried to call him and talk to him about it after I calmed down, and we have a lot of phone calls back and forth of talking and stuff like that. I spoke to a coworker who was talking to me and just said, like, hey, did you hear that something had happened down in Longmont? Like, we heard that somebody that worked at the post office got hurt, and that was kind of it. We talked about the route, but we didn't. I think that was about it. But no, I don't.
Who was that person that you talked to?
It's just another sub there.
Another sub at
Longmont, I'm so sorry, Loveland.
At Loveland?
Yes.
Okay. What's that?
I don't talk to anybody in Longmont.
Okay. What's the sub's name up in Loveland that you talked to?
His name is Scott.
Scott. Okay. So did Scott call you?
Yes, he called.
Okay. And so he has your cell phone. Have you ever dated Scott?
Oh, he's married.
Oh, he's married. Okay. So he just called
We're just
you.
coworkers.
Why would he call you?
Because he knows that I used to work in Longmont. Everybody there knows that I used to work in Longmont. It's when you come back and you have experience from the job beforehand, people are pretty happy about that.
Mm. And did Scott tell you he knew who had gotten hurt and that's why he was giving you a call?
No, he just said that he heard through the grapevine that somebody had gotten hurt in Longmont.
Okay. Okay.
And he asked if I had heard anything about that, and I said no, I did not.
Okay. Did you have a pretty long conversation, or was it fairly short?
I think the time frame was longer than normal, but we weren't just talking about that. We were talking about routes and
Okay.
other things, work related. It was.
And you said this was Scott?
Scott.
What's Scott's last name?
I don't.
You don't know, okay. But he works in Loveland with you. Okay. And then you said you were texting back and forth with AJ. Did you ever actually talk to him on the phone again?
No, I didn't text him back and forth. I
Okay.
just called multiple times.
Just you were calling him multiple times, okay. Was he trying to call you, or was he dodging your phone calls?
No, he answers.
Okay.
We fight, we argue, but it's normal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so.
I'm assuming you were talking on that phone there?
Yes.
Back and forth with him, okay. And then, do you know where he went in his Duramax truck? Okay. So you were back in your LLV and you did your route and you were getting a phone call. What did you do after you got that phone call about what happened in Longmont?
He just said that something happened to a carrier in Longmont.
Okay.
And he didn't give me any specific details, and so I said that's terrible. Like, he was telling me about another coworker that he knew that had been threatened there in Loveland in the past, just last week.
Okay.
And so we were talking about that, and that was really the extent of the conversation.
Okay. Did you ask him, hey, did you know if Jason was hurt?
No, he said, I hope that it's not somebody that you know, and I said, I hope not either. I don't. Do you know who it is? I didn't ask if he knew I didn't ask if it was Jason specifically, but I said, do you know who it was?
Okay.
And he said, no, nobody knows who it is.
Okay. And then after that, so you had this conversation. Did you continue your route?
Yes.
Okay. Did you end up finishing your route?
Yes.
Okay. Did you stop anywhere that was unwork related along your route?
No.
Okay. Did you ever stop for gas to fill up the LLV or anything like that?
Oh, the
Okay.
first time it was actually full.
Okay. So, you did your route by yourself, I'm assuming, because sometimes when it's busy they have two people, but you were by yourself? Okay. Did you see any other postal employees along the route?
No.
Okay. Okay. Did you have your scanner with you the whole time you were on your route too?
Yes.
Okay. So when we see it, and I haven't personally seen it, but I understand that it stopped at some address, probably your boyfriend's for like, I don't know, an hour and a half or so. That's when you stopped at your boyfriend's house?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's the same thing every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. And then when you got back to the station, the post office, did you turn in your scanner?
Yes.
Did you have an arrow key?
Yes, I turned in my arrow keys, my gas card, my scanner, and my truck keys.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
I got a message from, she said that she doesn't work for the post office anymore, but she used to work for the post office, and I knew her, and I haven't spoken to her in forever. And I got a message from her saying, I just wanted to reach out, and if you need anything, let me know.
Mm.
And I was like, I don't. What do you mean reach out? What is about what? I don't understand. I'm just leaving work and I'm going home.
Mm-hmm.
And so she called me, or she asked me to call her, and I called her, and she said that something from what she's not even in the state. So I'm not really sure
This
how
person
she
that called you?
Well, yeah, she's not even in the state, so I don't know how she I don't know how she found out before I even found out anything, but she was like, she's like, I heard through my sources that still work at the post office that something happened to Jason, and you should probably call the daycare to make sure that it's okay if you don't have him.
Okay.
And I said they don't, because today is his Father's Day to have him. And so I called the daycare on my way home. I called the daycare, and it took a while for them to answer. I was trying to call my girlfriend, or my friend, that she works at the daycare as well, and I was trying to get her to answer, because the lady that runs the daycare wasn't answering, and so I was just trying to get a hold of people, and nobody was answering, and then I ended up calling here.
Okay. Calling the police station?
Yeah, I called the non-emergency dispatch number.
Okay. And why'd you do that?
Because she told me that something had happened to Jason and that he was hurt.
Okay. This was, so the first friend that called you right after you got off work that's out of state, what's her name?
Her name is Stephanie.
Stephanie, okay. Let me write that down because I don't remember that. And how do you know Stephanie?
She was a carrier in Longmont too.
Okay. What's Stephanie's last name? Do you remember?
Don't remember, no.
Okay. But she called you and said
she
something
sent me a
happened.
message and said, like I said, she sent me a message and reached out and said, I don't remember exactly what she said, just I'm reaching out, if you need anything, let me know, or whatever. I don't remember the exact message.
Okay. How'd she send you a message? Through Facebook?
Through Facebook, yeah.
Through Facebook, okay. And so you checked your Facebook, you saw the message. Did you actually talk to her on the phone?
Yes.
Okay. But she's out of state. Where's she at?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I have issues.
I have issues with mine too. You probably heard me cracking it already.
I honestly wasn't paying attention, but
Okay.
I was in a car accident when I was younger, so
Okay.
I have had issues with it. What was your question?
I was asking about Stephanie's last name, if you remember it.
No, I don't remember her last
Okay.
name.
And then you said somebody else, or you had reached out to somebody that works at the daycare?
I reached out to the lady that runs the daycare, yes.
Okay. And did you end up talking to her?
I eventually got a hold of her, yes.
Okay. What was her name?
Her name is Ren.
Ren?
Mm-hmm.
And she works at the daycare?
Yes.
Okay. And she told you that something had happened to Jason?
Nope. I asked her if Jason had picked up our son, because I was hearing that there was something wrong with him, and that I should check to make sure that he was okay if he wasn't with me.
Okay.
And She said he was fine. He's still here.
Okay. Did you ever try calling Jason to see if he
No,
was
I
okay?
did not try to call him.
Okay.
We have not spoken and been on speaking terms for a while.
Okay. When's the last time you two had any communication?
We haven't had a phone conversation in months, and the only communication that I get from him is messages here and there. They were a little bit more frequent because our son's birthday is coming up next week, and so we were trying to figure out about a party.
Okay.
But
Like a birthday, like a
like a-
sixth birthday party for him?
yes, a birthday
Okay.
party. But most of his messages that he sends me go unanswered by me.
Okay.
So I don't speak to him.
And how does he typically get a hold of you then? Like via phone, Facebook,
He'll just send me a text message.
okay, text message from his phone to your phone? Okay. Do you remember the last time you even talked to him? Like via text message or in person?
I honestly try not to speak to him as much as possible.
Okay. But do you remember the last time? I know it may be difficult.
Like I said, most of the messages that he sends go unanswered by me.
Okay.
I don't remember the last conversation, if it was whatever the last response I said to him would be on my messages.
Okay.
So I mean I can look, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Because you've been kind of dodging his calls.
Well, he doesn't call ever.
Okay.
I feel like he called like a couple of weeks ago about something, but I don't remember exactly. And I called. I don't think I answered because I was at work and I might have been on the other line, but then I called him right back, and I don't think he answered. So I don't know. Maybe I don't remember honestly. Like I said, I.
But do you remember, was that today?
That he called me?
That you guys had any telephone?
Oh, no, we did not. We haven't had any conversation or any messages or anything back and forth since Sunday.
Since this past Sunday?
Yes, that's not true, actually. It would have been Monday. I think it was Monday, actually, that he sent me a message, the last message he sent me.
Okay.
Because our son was invited to a birthday party this weekend, and it was on my day that I had him. So he sent me the invitation and asked me to take him.
Okay. Did you send that via text or like an email?
Yes, it was on text.
On text, okay. So you guys didn't actually talk, you guys were just texting back and forth?
No, we don't actually speak to each other.
Okay. When you said you left the post office to come back, were you gonna head home originally, or what was your thought about where you were heading?
Yes, I drove home.
You drove home?
Speaking of which, I need to ask somebody. I have my dog in my car, so that's easy.
Your dog's in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. We want to make sure we take care of the dog. What kind of dog do you have?
She's just a mutt, honestly. She's super sweet and very loud and vocal, but
Is the dog okay right now?
it's not hot out, so I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
she's
Okay.
not gonna roast. But I literally just thought of that. I forgot because every Wednesday night I have a movie night with one of my girlfriends. So
Okay. What?
I go and we alternate, but it was my week to come down and go to her place and hang out with her.
Okay.
And I bring my dog because I'm there pretty late. So.
Okay. Where's your dog normally at, like on your route?
She's just at home.
Okay. At
She's
home.
chilling.
Okay. What's your dog look like?
She's a tan.
Is it like a big dog or a small
she's
dog?
Like medium. She's like 40 pounds.
Oh, 40 pounds, okay. I've got a little Havanese dog myself, so
I don't know.
he's about 10 pounds, and it's like a large cat, so a little white dog. So when you left work, sorry, I got a little off track with the dog. and stuff.
That was my fault. I thought about it, and I was like, what did I do? Oh yeah, my dog.
So you got back in your Nissan. Was it was at the post office? And then you drove the Nissan from work to home?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And then, does anybody else drive that vehicle, or is that just your car?
No, it's mine.
Okay, so Jason doesn't own that car either?
My car? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to, but that's your need. How long have you had that car?
I bought it brand new, so 2017, I guess.
Okay. So it's your car straight out, not his. You guys weren't married, were you?
No.
Okay. And that's not AJ's car. It's in your name? Okay. Are you the only one that has keys to the car?
Yeah. Please.
Okay. There's no spare keys for the car or anything like that?
I mean, I have a spare set somewhere in my house, but I don't even know where those are.
Okay. But you said you live by yourself?
Yeah.
Does anybody like have keys to go in and out of your house by themselves?
No.
Okay. So you don't live with it. AJ doesn't come over and live with you at all? Okay. So, let me back up so I'm not confused. So you got up at your house this morning, you drove your car to work, you cased mail till about 10:30, went out on your route, stopped by your boyfriend's house for an hour and a half or so. After the argument, you ended up leaving, finished your route, and then went back to the post office, got back in your car, and then went home. Is that accurate?
Yes, I got in my car and I went home, and I was going to be heading down here anyway for my TV night with my girlfriend.
TV night with your girlfriend, okay. And then,
And as I was leaving work is when I got all of these messages and people telling me that something had happened and that I needed to, like, why hadn't I known? Why
Okay.
hadn't I been told anything? And I was like, I don't know, nobody's called me, nobody's told me anything.
okay. And then, nobody picked you up at the post office, you actually drove from there home? Okay. What time did you get off work?
Almost 5.
Okay. You got off almost 5, and then you drove home. What time did you get home? So I'm not quite sure where you live, but...
It only takes me 10 to 15 minutes to get home.
Okay. So it's pretty quick to get to your house, from your house to work.
Yeah.
Probably depending on traffic.
Yes.
So you got home, what'd you do after you got home? So you got home around, what, 5:10, 5:15?
I don't know, probably. I was on the phone. I was also, like, had to keep pulling over and stopping because I was making a bunch of phone calls trying to find people's number, like, you know, trying to figure out what was going on. And I got home and I picked up the dog. I was already on the phone with the detective by the time I got home.
Okay.
So.
How many times had you been back at home that day, between the time you left in the morning and the time you got back that night?
I don't go home during the day.
Okay, you didn't stop by during your lunch break or any other time?
No.
Okay. So you stopped off at the house, or do you remember who all you called on your way home?
I called my daycare lady a bunch of times. I called my girlfriend that works at the daycare. I called AJ when I found out something was going on. I called the police department. And right as I was getting into Longmont here, my girlfriend, who I was supposed to have the TV night with, I was about to text her and just be like, hey, I'm not gonna make it. Something's come up, like, I'll let you know, I'll fill you in when I am finished, because I was just about here. And so she ended up calling me. I don't even think I sent the message completely, but she ended up calling me. And,
Your friend?
yeah,
Okay.
that I was supposed to go with. Her name is
Okay.
Whitney.
Whitney, does she work at the post office as well?
No.
Okay.
None of the people that I'm friends with work at the post office.
Okay. So Whitney, you called her. And you said you talked to AJ as well?
Yes.
And then what was your conversation like with AJ? Did you tell him that, at that point, did you know that Jason had been hurt?
The lady, the original lady that told me, Stephanie, that something was going on, yes, she ended up calling me again and just asking if I had gotten, and I said that the police have him and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and she said that for as far as she was aware that yes, he was the one that was hurt and that he didn't make it.
Okay. I'm sure that was pretty devastating news.
Yes. It's not going to be a secret that we don't get along, but I mean, I don't know if I can take care of a child by myself, and he's always been there to help, and he pays child support, like that helps me too, like it's, you know, it's, we've had a lot of problems, but that, like, he still helps me with our son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a lot to hear.
What did AJ know, or did you tell AJ?
No, I told him.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I told him what happened.
Okay. And what did AJ say?
He was just as surprised as I was.
Okay. So after you left your house with the dog, where'd you go after that?
I was already on the phone with the detective, so I came straight here.
Okay.
I stopped and got gas, but I came straight here.
Okay. Besides, where'd you stop and get gas? Do you remember?
There's a gas station right in front of a Walmart on the way on 280. I don't know how familiar you are with streets, but it's right between Loveland and Fort Collins.
Okay. So you stopped and filled out, and you came straight here.
I just got $20, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. What's AJ's phone number? Do you have that in your phone?
Do I have to give it to you?
You don't have to. I was just asking. Like I said, I'm not going to force you to do anything. If you don't want to give me his phone number, that's fine too. Is AJ coming here, or do you know where does AJ work? If we wanted to talk to him.
He works for the bureau. Well, he works for the maximum security prison in Denver.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is he a guard?
He's a CO.
A CO? Correctional officer?
Yes.
Okay. And what correctional facility does he work at?
Inglewood.
Inglewood. Okay. Is that Inglewood FCI, I think it's called?
I think so.
Okay. And how long has he worked there?
5 or 6 years. I don't remember exactly.
Okay. And what does he do as a correctional guard there?
I mean, I don't know specifically, just...
Well, some of them, they wear plain clothes, others wear a uniform with like a belt and handcuffs.
Oh yeah, I mean, he has a uniform.
Okay. So he has a uniform. Does he dress like a policeman? Okay. Does he have a gun and handcuffs and all that kind of stuff?
I assume so.
Okay. And you said his name's AJ, and he works as a correctional officer. Okay. Do you know if he was you said he doesn't normally work on Wednesdays? Is that accurate?
Yes,
or what's
he
today?
usually has Wednesdays off.
Okay. Was he working today?
No. That's
Okay,
what
so he was definitely off. Okay. So, as far as your vehicle, so you said nobody drives it, it's just you that drives it. What happened to the hubcap that apparently there was a missing hubcap I heard about? How did you get in a wreck?
I don't have a hubcap on my wheels, but it's been like that for a very long time.
Okay. Do you remember what happened to it?
I used to deliver newspapers in the morning,
Okay.
and I fell asleep while driving.
Okay.
So I ran into a rock. Or a sidewalk. I don't remember which one.
Do you remember about when that was?
No, I'd say the beginning of this year. I don't remember exactly.
Okay. So sometime this year, you just never got it replaced.
Well, it like fucked up my. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
It messed up my front section of my car and like the tire and stuff, and I had to have it towed, and so I have like it got replaced. I just never
Put it on.
well, the rim wasn't the right one that I needed for the hubcap, so.
Okay. So it's been busted up a little bit. Where'd you have it towed from? Or like, was that like an insurance claim?
It was in Boulder, yes.
It was in Boulder? Like where the police called?
No.
Okay. So sometime in Boulder, and did you say you filed an insurance claim?
No.
Okay. You just had it towed to a shop and they fixed it? Okay. But you just never put on the hubcap to it? Okay. How tall are you?
5'5".
About 5'5"? Okay. And what were you wearing today?
This.
Okay. You were wearing that all day? Okay. So you don't have like a carrier uniform or anything since you're a rural carrier? Were you wearing those same shoes all day? Okay. How about those same pants?
Yep, I haven't changed.
Same. So if we pull up surveillance video or whatnot, we'll see you at the post office wearing that. Okay. Did you ever put on a hoodie today at all?
I have a. So it reminds me, I don't even know if I brought it with me. I had a jacket, like a fleece jacket that's has the postal logo on it that I bought from like you guys, but I don't know. I bought it when I was in training, but since it was really cold this morning, I had that on today.
Okay, so you had that on. What color is that?
It's like a gray, white, or black and white, grayish tweed. I don't know.
Does it have a hood?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just a jacket.
It's a zip up. I mean, it's got like a higher collar
That goes to
that like
here.
puffs up a little bit, but it
Okay.
doesn't have a hood on it now.
Did you actually wear a hoodie at all today?
No.
Do you own any hoodies?
I own a lot of hoodies, but I didn't wear that today, mainly because I had like the one that I wore yesterday at work. I wore the same thing yesterday at work, and
Oh, the same outfit? Okay.
I get very dirty at work, so I just wear the same thing.
Sure.
And it was very, very cold last night. and I was out till dark. So
Okay.
I was like, this is not warm enough. I'm gonna need a different jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put the one that I have today.
Okay. The hoodie that you have today on?
Not a hoodie, but yeah.
Okay. So run me through that again. I'm confused. So you had a hoodie on yesterday because it was cold? Okay. And then what happened? What color hoodie was that?
It's black.
Okay. So you had a black hoodie on yesterday. What time did you finish your shift yesterday?
7:15.
Okay.
So pretty late last night.
So pretty late. And then it was at the Loveland Post Office as well? What route was that yesterday?
Route 10.
Okay. Do you have a locker there, or do you don't? So you carry your lunch or whatever, your clothes back and forth.
Mhm.
So you would have thrown your hoodie in your Nissan?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other vehicles, or just that Nissan? Just the Nissan? Okay. So you had the hoodie in the Nissan. Did you wear the hoodie today, though? You said you wore it yesterday.
No, I had it on when I went home, and it's at home. Right
Okay. It's at your house right now and not in your car or anything? Okay. When did you take it into the house?
I wore it home last night because it was cold.
Okay. So you wore it into the house yesterday, took it off. Where is it now? Is it like in the washing machine or
Hanging up.
just hanging up? Okay. Do you normally wear like a mask or anything when you're delivering mail, like a COVID style mask? Okay. Do you never wear any type of masks or anything over your face?
No, I have some with me. There are certain routes that I go on, and I have to, like on my primary, I have to go into an assisted living facility. So they require that I put a mask on to go in. But it's in Loveland, so most people don't care
Okay.
if you have a mask on up there or not. It's not like down here.
Okay. What kind of masks do you normally wear when you go into those places?
I have cloth ones that have like certain designs on them.
Okay. Like your personal ones?
Yeah, like that I had to wear all of like quarantine and like that whole time frame.
Sure.
But I have some just like, I don't know, regular masks that they give you when you go into those places or a store or whatever, that it's like, hey, we require you to have it.
Okay. Does the post office ever give you masks to wear?
No.
No. Okay. But you said you had some masks with you. Are they in your car? Or where are they?
I have some I have one, I think, in my car, and I have one in my backpack.
Okay. Where's your backpack, in the car?
Okay.
Okay. Is that a backpack you like take back and forth when you're like from your house to the post office, which you keep? I know a lot of carriers do that.
No.
What color are your masks that you wear?
I don't wear.
Or when you do wear them, or what color are they in general?
Just depends on which one I grab. Like I said, I have cloth ones, and I also have, I don't know, like the blue ones that they have at doctors' offices. There's the ones that they hand out, like they hand them out everywhere.
Okay. Like the blue, like surgical masks?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Okay. So let me just step back for a second. You said you had done some communication via Facebook. You have a Facebook account. What's your Facebook like? You have like a username on there?
It's my name.
Just your name? Okay. You just have the one Facebook account? Okay. Okay. So, do me a favor, just so I make sure that I'm not confused about the events of today. Run me quickly through what happened today.
I mean, I feel like I've already done that.
You have. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, that we're tracking, that I'm not confused about anything, that what you told me is, like, sometimes when I'm talking to people, they remember things as they're recounting their day. We're like, oh yeah, I had a Coke That reminds me, I stopped at the 7-Eleven. That's why I asked you what you had to eat for lunch. Because sometimes that jogs memories about what happened. You remember what you told me you had for lunch?
Yeah, pizza rolls.
Okay. And what did you have to drink? Do you remember that?
It's a water.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So, just talking about AJ, you said he's been a correctional officer, and of course, being a law enforcement officer, he has a gun. Have you ever shot a gun before?
Yes, multiple times.
Okay. When's the last time you've ever shot a gun before?
Over a year ago.
Okay. And whose gun was that?
It was one of his.
One of AJ's? Okay. How many guns does AJ have?
I don't know.
Okay. Is it more than one? You said guns, so I'm assuming you meant.
Yes, he has a few, but I don't know how many. I don't know how many he has.
Okay. So, what kind of guns are they?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with. I don't know that much about them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can tell you.
When did you guys last go shoot? You said about a year ago?
For our friend anniversary last year, yes.
For your what?
Friend anniversary, like an anniversary for friends.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you remember what date that was then?
I don't. It was at the beginning of November.
Okay.
I
So,
don't know.
so sometime in November, where'd you guys go out shooting?
There's a place in Loveland.
Okay, like a gun?
Like a shooting range.
Like a shooting range. So you went there, and you said you had done it a few times before. Had you been with him a couple times before?
No, I'd been with an ex before.
With an ex-boyfriend? Okay. Do you have your own weapons? You don't have any guns or anything of your own? Okay. So he took you to shoot his gun. Was it a rifle or was it a pistol?
It was a rifle.
It was a rifle. Okay. Do you remember what kind of rifle it was? Did it look like a machine gun or like a hunting rifle?
I really couldn't tell you the difference. I don't
Okay.
hunt, so I don't know.
Okay. So when you were at the shooting range, you shot a rifle?
Yes.
Okay. And then you shot his pistol too?
No, I don't. I am only aware of the pistol that he has for his job.
Okay. So when you said he had multiple guns, you're not sure what all he has? Okay. Where does he keep his guns?
I don't know.
Okay. But you've been to his house before, like all the time, but you're not sure where does he keep it locked up?
I don't know. I don't go looking for them.
Okay. Do you know what color it is? Okay. Did you ever shoot his handgun?
Like for work? No.
For anything? Have you ever physically shot his handgun?
No.
Okay. When's the last time you shot a handgun?
Really long time ago, like over 10 years ago.
Okay. So, do you know how to shoot a handgun?
I mean, I guess I would know the basics just like every other gun, but I don't know
Okay.
specifically what you're asking.
Well, I'm asking, you said you don't have a gun.
No.
Do you know how Jason passed away today?
Yes, they said he was shot.
Okay. Who said that?
The detective.
Okay. The detective told you he was shot?
The detective told me he was shot in the face.
The detective said shot in the face? Okay. How'd that make you feel?
I don't know. I don't have anything against guns, but obviously I don't own one, so I don't.
Hmm. Now, how'd it make you feel to find out that the father of your child was shot in the face with a gun?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm very upset about it. I know that, like I said, I know that we've had our issues, but.
Okay. And you said, I guess correct me if I'm wrong, have you shot AJ's pistol?
No.
Okay, so if we talk to AJ, he's going to say, yeah, she hasn't shot my pistol. Okay, and you said you don't know where he keeps it, don't know anything about it?
I don't know
Okay.
anything about it.
When's the last time you saw him with this pistol?
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Okay. Do you, Is AJ kind of like a law enforcement? Is he interested in law enforcement, police officers, and that kind of stuff?
You have to ask him.
Okay. Does he watch? You guys ever watch like police shows together, that type of thing?
We don't watch a lot of things together.
You don't watch a lot of things together? Okay. One of the things, like, I didn't know because lots of people watch like Forensic Files and, you know, other shows. Have you ever seen anything like that on TV? You have? Like, what's your favorite, like, police show like that?
Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds? Okay. I like the first 48, but, so on those kind of shows, you understand that, you know, forensics are involved in different things. So when a gun is fired, lots of different things happen, okay? And I think that they were talking to you about some gunshot residue stuff. So what happens when a gun is fired is, like, the person that fires it, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, like after you went to the range or anything, like your hands can get black. Did you ever have that on your hands? So I'm a law enforcement officer, so obviously I know. So my hands will get black and stuff from the lead and kind of microscopic things. So it gets all over your clothes. So we always come home and shower afterwards. So if somebody shot a gun, then their clothes are most likely going to have, because it's basically a mini explosion that's like happening right in front of your face. So what's typically going to happen is there's going to be like flashback of like debris, for lack of better words. Like, I can't see it, you can't physically see it, but as soon as I put it under the microscope, they'll be able to see that. So, among some other things. So, they're going to have to take, at some point, your clothes, to take a look at it to make sure we're tracking right. Would there be any reason when they put your clothes under a microscope, they're going to see any type of gunshot residue? Okay. You're 100% positive that they won't find any? Okay. And if they do, what would that mean?
Couldn't give you an answer for that.
Okay. So one of the other things that happens, especially in these types of things where it's like kind of closer range, like the other thing that happens is like there's microscopic like blood droplets that come back on people, and it kind of splatters your clothes too. So they're going to take a look for, is there going to be any reason that there's going to be any type of, because they're going to take a look at everything, like your shoes, your socks, you know, they have FBI labs here too that can find, I'm sure you've seen like FBI files and all that kind of stuff too. They have labs that pretty much can, what they do is, you see how these shoes have like this really intricate weave?
Mm-hmm.
So they can actually go in there with different tools and technologies and find like blood droplets that you can't even see with a regular microscope. It's like a forensic microscope. So what they're going to do is they're going to take a look at that. So I think probably what they're going to find is some of Jason's blood on your shoes. Would you agree with that?
On my shoes?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
agree with that.
Okay, how about on your clothes right here and on your pants?
No, I
Are they
wouldn't
going
agree
to
with
find any blood droplets when they look at it with this like super sophisticated technology?
No.
And I want to give you the benefit of the doubt.
So you're not just a postal inspector, is what I'm getting at.
No, I'm a postal inspector. That's exactly what I am. Let me show you my, but they do have labs, and I know that they check people's clothing to either clear them. If we can clear, the one thing we want to do is if somebody wasn't involved, and maybe you just happen to be standing nearby and something got on you, but we want to make sure we clear people that weren't involved. Now, one of the things we do is we use forensics, okay? We use forensics in a variety of ways. So no, I'm a postal inspector, so I wasn't lying to you about that by any means. But I do want to say that, we have access to labs from the state, from CDI, from the state. We have local labs here, and we also have federal labs. So we have our own lab back in DC too, okay? So one of the things they have to do to clear anybody is look at the forensics. And some of the things they're going to look at are the things we talked about, okay? They're going to look at your clothing. They're going to look at your shoes. And they're going to see if there's these droplets. They're going to see if there's any gunshot residue. And when they do find those, we want to have an explanation for those. You see what I'm saying? Like,
What is it
it's-
you're saying that they're going? You're saying
No,
they're going
I
to
asked
find
you.
them on here.
No, I asked you if they were going to,
And I answered.
and you said no. So, and I appreciate that, because that's one of the tough questions I have to ask people, especially since this was is the father of your child. Okay. One of the other things that we look at when we're doing forensics and that type of thing is we take a look at cell phone information. Where were you? Cell phones right now they're like little GPS beacons. I don't know if you know that. Have you ever seen that on TV?
I mean, you use GPS on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
So.
So it's like the same thing. So you seem like a smart person. So you know how GPS records work too, right? So one of the things we're going to do as part of this is we're going to have to pull phone records, okay? So we're going to take a look at it and we're going to say, okay, this is where you told me you were, and this is where your phone was. Because you had your phone all day, like you told me, because you were talking on it. You didn't lend your phone to anybody, I'm assuming. No? Okay. You had your phone all day.
Mm-hmm.
So we can really just go to the cell phone company with a court order. We have to get a warrant and say, where was her cell phone, every second of that day? And on this type of thing, we go to those extra links. So are we going to see that your cell phone was over there where this happened to Jason?
I'm not entirely sure where it happened, but no, I had it with me in Loveland.
Okay. You had it with you in Loveland. Okay. And it never left your side.
It was with me in Loveland.
Okay. Could you have been accidentally gotten over into that area where this happened? Do you know
I
where it
worked
happened?
in Loveland.
Okay. Well, this happened in Longmont. Was your phone ever in Longmont today?
No.
Okay. So when we pull your phone records, is it going to show that your phone was in Longmont?
No.
Is it going to show that it was in that area?
No, I don't know what area, but it hasn't been in Longmont.
Okay. The area that is his normal route is
I
where it
don't know
happened.
his normal route.
Okay. I've got my phone. Let me pull it up. Because then I had a question for you. Where'd you grow up?
Missouri.
Where?
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri?
Mm-hmm.
Where in Missouri?
St. Louis.
I grew up outside of St. Louis. Where'd you grow up outside of St. Louis?
Specifically would be Warrenton.
Oh, I haven't
Most
heard of
people,
that.
Yeah, don't know where that
Have
is.
you heard of St. Genevieve?
Actually, I have not. No.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Let me look up something here real quick. Let me get something here. Bear with me for a second. I want to make sure you see the general area where it happened, okay? Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Are you familiar with the area of Heather Hills Circle and Renaissance Drive?
No, not exactly.
Okay. When you say not exactly, like, what do you mean? Like, had you ever been there, or do you know the general area?
I know the general area. I mean, I worked in Longmont, so I know like the general area, but
Okay. When's the last time you were over in that area?
I don't know.
If you had to guess, like, was it today?
No, it was not today.
Was not today.
No, I was at work today.
Okay. When was it yesterday?
No, it was not yesterday. I was at work yesterday.
Okay. Was it your last day off? Don't be upset with me. I'm just trying to understand. You said you know the area.
Well, I used to deliver in Longmont, but that was 6 years ago. So it was 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
Like, areas grow, things change. I don't know that I don't know that particular street. I do know it is on the southwest side of town,
Okay.
but I don't know the specific area.
Okay. Let's see if I can pull it up. Because obviously, I don't know the area. Do you know how far it is from your house?
I live in Fort Collins,
Okay.
so no.
Have you been to Longmont today?
No, I'm not in the Longmont today. Is there a way that I can be escorted to the bathroom?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get you to the bathroom. Can I show you this first, if you don't mind?
That's fine.
Okay. So here is, you mind if I sit here? I don't want to invade your space, so I'll sit right here for you. Oh, so I don't know how familiar you are with the general area, but here's, you know Airport Road?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know Renaissance Drive?
I thought it was just a circle, but
Okay. So, so it happened in this general area,
Okay.
Renaissance Drive and Heather Hill Circle.
okay.
Okay. Are you familiar with that area?
Vaguely.
Okay. And one of the things I really need to ask you about, and I know you're probably nervous, and this is a stressful thing, but one of the things that we went out and did today, or the police department did, and they had a lot of help, is they pulled surveillance video from a lot of different locations in the area.
Yes.
They actually captured what happened on one of the surveillance videos.
That's what the detective said.
Okay.
Yes.
They also captured the vehicle that was involved on the surveillance footage. And they captured the license plate.
Okay.
And it was your vehicle that was over there.
That's what the officer said.
Yeah. So I need to find out, honestly, what happened today.
But that is also what
And-
the officer said.
Okay. But I need you to tell me, there's a big difference between something, and I'm sure you probably don't have a criminal history. I haven't even looked.
No, I do not.
But most of the people I deal with are people that have been arrested like 20, 25 times. They're out committing robberies of postal carriers. They're out doing lots of different things, okay? I don't think that's you. You know, these other people are people that, you know, all they do is live a life of crime. They're out planning crimes all day long, all night long, because they have a drug addiction. And that's primarily what drives them, okay? You do not look like the type of person that does drugs, am I correct?
No, I never have.
Never have done drugs or anything like that. So you do not seem like the type of person to me. And again, I just met you, and I just got on this, but you don't seem like a cold-blooded killer that's out been planning something for years, and that this was your perfect opportunity. To me, based on what I've heard and from talking to you, this is something where something just snapped. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something out here.
Me?
Just hold on. Where you were thinking about doing something like this for a long period of time. You weren't planning. I mean, it happened in the middle of the day. This isn't something that happened late at night. This is something that happened in the middle of the day. So you know what almost every house has these days? They have cameras. They have Ring cameras.
Right.
So we had your car over there. You already told me you're the only person that drives that vehicle.
I also told you I was at work, and nobody seems to believe that either. So
No, we understand that you are at work for part of the time. I believe that.
I didn't say that either.
Say what?
I didn't say part of the time. I said I was at work all of the time.
Okay. Well, we understand that you work today. Okay. I don't want to get into the mix with you. But what I am trying to ask you is this: your vehicle was over there where this happened at the time that it happened. We have witnesses and we have surveillance footage.
Right, and that's
We
the same
always-
thing that I said
so-
to the
so-
detective. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, you don't have an answer. You have like zero answer. How do you think something like that could happen?
I don't know, and that is where I asked the detective to speak to a lawyer.
Do you think somebody stole your car?
Again, I'm going to ask to speak to a lawyer
Okay.
if we're going to continue with this questioning. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay. So, let me make sure I'm clear with you. If we don't talk about the car, you're fine to continue to help me with Jason. But you don't want to talk about the car.
I don't want to talk about something that you are saying is incriminating me
Okay.
when I did not do this.
I'm just saying that the vehicle was there.
And I just said I don't have a response for it.
Okay.
I don't have an answer. I don't know how to tell you that
Well, I
the
guess
car was there while I was at work in Loveland.
Okay. Well, if you're fine with it, can I show you a picture of the car that was there? Would you be comfortable with me doing that?
You can show me whatever you'd like. Like I said, I am asking for a lawyer to speak to for any further questioning.
Okay. So you don't want to talk to me anymore to help us with this at all?
I have helped.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we're clear. You don't want to talk to me anymore about this? You're seeking an invocation of your right to an attorney, which is fine. I just want to make sure we're absolutely clear because before you weren't. I want to make sure because it seemed like you were helping me and we were working on it, and I'm trying to figure out like did somebody take your car or anything like that. So I don't want
nothing to hide about my day because I was at work.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's why I said I'm willing to give you the information that you are going to be having anyway when you contact whoever you contact at my job.
Okay.
It's all the information you're going to be getting.
Okay.
There is nothing being hidden. There's nothing else.
Okay. So if we don't talk about your car, do you want to continue this conversation, or are you done with the conversation?
There really
Don't
isn't
help
else
anymore?
to say. I've said my day. I've said what I needed to say. I don't see what other questions you would have.
Well, I'd like to know, who do you think would have done this to Jason?
I don't know who would have done this to Jason. I don't know his life anymore. I am no longer a part of it. He made that perfectly clear when he decided to, for a lack of better words, sleep with my sister.
So I didn't know that. Okay. Can I talk to you about that, or do you want an attorney?
There's nothing to hide with that either, so I will answer questions about that.
Okay. You're okay answering questions about your sister?
Yes.
Are they dating?
They are
Or
living
they're sleeping together?
They're definitely sleeping together in front of my son, which is how I found out. I'm
Oh.
a 5-year-old.
Okay. How old's your sister? Is she of age?
19. She
Really?
just turned 19.
Okay.
Not too
How old
long
are
ago.
you?
26.
So this is your younger sister?
Yes, this is my baby sister.
How many sisters do you have?
I have, well, there's 4 of us total.
4 of you total? Okay. So Jason was actually, how do you know he was? Because your son said it? Or
I have, well, my son did say it, yes, and then when he just moved into a new apartment last month, I think, and he told me that she was going to be moving in with him. She had already been living there, but
Okay. At the apartment complex, but not with him?
no, with him.
Okay.
She had been living with me at the beginning of this year until the end of June.
Okay.
And then I found out that she not only slept with my ex-boyfriend, but also with my son's dad.
Okay.
And I kicked her out, and I told her she was no longer allowed to live in my house if she was going to be that kind of person.
Okay. So not only did she sleep with Jason, but she slept with another ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Who was the other ex-boyfriend? Somebody you're still dating?
No.
Okay.
We have talked since that incident, but we have not dated.
Okay.
We will not date.
Okay. Was that a long time ago?
That we dated?
Yeah.
It was during like quarantine and stuff like that.
Sorry about that. Okay. You dated this other guy?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need to use the restroom? And then
I mean, I do. I am also very concerned about my son. It is getting late, and I don't know where he is.
why don't you use the restroom? I'll find out
Okay.
where he's at, ease your mind, and then we can reconvene.
I would very much like to see him. I
Okay.
understand the detective was very strict on the fact that he was not going to be released to me, and like I understand that, and I'm not asking for that. I just want to see him.
Okay. Would that help you if I was able to? I can't promise anything because they're the police. I'm a postal inspector, so it's different. But would you like me to ask them and see if I can?
The detective said he was going to ask, and then he came back in here and didn't ask. So
Okay.
yes, I would very
well,
much like to.
Yeah, he's been busy and stuff too. So why don't we leave everything here? We'll just run in here. I grab my phone.
All right.
And she used the. She wanted to use the restroom.
Restroom, yeah. Why don't we, you want
Do
to
the GCF form first.
before
Was
she
that
washes her
already
hands?
done? Yeah, she-
Let me
okay.
just do that real quick. Get you out of here.
One of the things we talked about, just so you remember, was like when a gun's fired. Remember I was talking about kind of that blowback and stuff. Sometimes so it'll get on your hands and in between the creases of your fingers and your wrinkles. And not that you have any wrinkles because you're still in your 20s. But he's gonna put some sticky things on your hand to swab and over it as part of this whole thing. So that's what that's
Okay.
about.
Let's see, right hand. Just go like this. It's just basically like an adhesive tape. It won't leave any residue.
Was tape?
Kind of. It's not tape, but it's.
Almost like a lint roller type, if you can envision something like a tacky lint roller.
What? The chocolate. Good.
That's what you.
Good. And this one here is the face, so I'm going to do those arrows on your face. Okay? If we just can pull back your hair a little bit. And do this. This my calling is a makeup tech.
Huh.
Right here, there. Good.
Right. You need to use the restroom? Okay, so I'm gonna walk you to the restroom and then also we'll grab, we're gonna do a change of clothes.
Let me. This is. I'll squeeze through here. So.
Hold on just a second.
Okay. I think they're gonna. They can get you that. We're just straight up change your clothes. Okay.
Oh. Is that my son?
No. That was one of
That's the commander.
the other guys that work here. So.
Right. So, here's the situation. I need you to go ahead and turn around for me. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Do not move, okay?
Am I under arrest then?
We'll discuss that here in just a second. Does it feel okay? Nothing's pinching or anything like that?
No.
No, lock them so that they don't get any tighter. Got it, Andy? Thank you. Right, so you are under arrest, okay? So we're gonna take you downstairs. We are gonna get your clothing and we'll let you go to the bathroom down there, okay?
Am I gonna be told
Go ahead and step back.
what it is
Just a little bit.
for then?
Right this way.
That was the interrogation of Devan Schriener, but we still have to watch Andrew Ritchie, the man whom the police suspect to be the man who actually performed the murder. Let's see what he has to say.
How you doing, AJ?
Great, how are you?
You remember me, Chris Lucas, I'm Postal Inspector.
Yeah. We have Detective Burke with Longmont PD.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. So first off, I know that we're at your place of work, so I imagine that they called you down here, so you probably don't exactly feel like you have a choice in being in this room right now since your bosses are all outside the door.
Correct.
So before I ask you any questions, why don't you go and have a seat? We'll go through this first part. Let me ask you this, do you have any weapons on you, any knives? Yeah, nothing like that, okay. So first off, it doesn't even matter the reason we're here, just the circumstances, the fact that we're at your place of work. I don't want you to feel like you're being coerced into talking to us, all right? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to read you Miranda real quick, all right? Just to go through that. Do what?
Am I being arrested?
Right now, no. All right? All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything and I'm going to read it just to make sure that, just that way I can show this document later on and say, hey, this is exactly what I read you. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer prior to any questioning and have him present during any questioning. If you desire the presence of a lawyer and cannot afford to hire one, sorry, let me shut that off. If you desire the presence of a lawyer and cannot afford to hire one, the court will appoint one to represent you without charge. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements, all right? Do you understand your rights as I've just read them, okay? Having these rights in mind, all right, are you okay with me asking you some questions about some stuff that went on here this last week or so with Devan?
You can ask me questions while I'm planning to find my answer and stuff.
Okay, all right. You want to start?
Yeah, so when I
Oh, actually, sorry. Let me start this quick. Just saying that I told this to you. And... All right, so go ahead and this right here, just saying that you understand. Let me get a signature from right there. All right, I appreciate it.
So when we talked the other night, I told you we were trying to put the timeline together regarding, when you saw her and Devan and all of that. And so really I want to kind of clean up some of the timeline stuff. On Wednesday night, your wife's sitting next to us, and I know it's going to be hard to talk about multiple things. Am I correct?
Yeah, I had to talk to her about it the next day and tell her that I was having my film.
I'm sorry, I missed
I
that.
had to tell her that I was having an affair the next day.
Okay. So she now knows.
She's aware of the affair.
Okay, so and I'm assuming, a couple of things. I figured that was kind of part of it, and that's why I didn't push real hard on Wednesday night. Does that make sense? Again, I kind of told you that in the interview. So we just want to kind of clean up some of the timeline stuff. Obviously, let's just kind of start with you're at Hooters from like 12:30 to like 1:15. Is that about right?
I feel like it's later than that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's right.
1:45.
I think it's 1:45.
1:45.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get to Hooters?
Drove.
Your truck? Okay. The black one, the one that was in the driveway? I think it's Silverado, right? Okay. So you drove your truck there.
I drove myself.
And you were on your phone? You had your phone with you there?
Correct.
Okay. So you remember being there on your phone, and it's your personal, the one that you gave to me, right? So is that, that makes sense. And that's your phone, and that's the one that I took, right? Okay. So you got there, you're there, you eat wings, hang out with your buddy Brandon?
Correct.
Okay. As we went through this, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that in. And so we were talking about multiple things that day with Devan and her timeline. One of the things she told me is that she drives like a Nissan Rogue or Murano.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember, like, if we showed you a picture of her car, would you remember what it looks like?
So this is her car on a license plate reader back
That's
in
her
May.
car.
All
That's her
right.
car. That's her car.
This is down at the scene, the neighborhood of the shooting. You can see the time, 12:06.
That's her car.
So originally you told us that she was up there at your house with you until 12:15 when you left to go to Hooters. Can you explain that? We're trying to verify Devan's timeline right now. That's the thing.
Yeah. She was not with me. She wasn't with me before that. She came over to my house after I was done with Hooters for about 10 minutes.
For about 10 minutes. What happened when she got there?
She just stopped, used the bathroom, got some water.
Did she leave anything?
No.
Nothing at all?
No, not unless it was in the bathroom.
Did she change clothes?
No, she was.
Remember what she was wearing?
Not specifically. I think I told you that night. It was a pair of pants and a t-shirt.
Okay.
I think the pants were dark, but I don't remember what the t-shirt was.
Okay. So let's kind of work the timeline. Understand this is why I put the timeline together.
I know.
And so we've got her vehicle in Longmont when she said she was with you. So you guys weren't together. So tell me kind of what happened. Let's go back and talk about the morning and how that all worked. You had told me before you got home about 8 o'clock. Is that right?
At 8 o'clock in
In the morning.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay. Where were you coming from?
Her house.
Her house. So you weren't at work. Okay, so you were at Devan's house in the morning. What time did you leave her house?
7 something.
Okay.
She went to work. I went to my house.
So she went to work and you went home. But your wife had already been gone, or did your wife see you in the morning?
My wife had taken the kids to school because she has to be to work at 8.
So she was already gone. Okay. So what time did you get to Devan's house? Right? Would have been
I stayed the night
Okay.
at Devan's house. My wife thought I was at work.
So that's why you told us that, is to protect yourself from your wife. Or protect. So she didn't find out. So what time did you get to Devan's house?
The night before 10.
Got there about 10? Okay, so what did you do after you got off work? What time did you get off work?
I got off work in the daytime.
Like
And I went home.
about this time? 4
Yeah,
o'clock-ish?
yeah.
Okay.
Went home, took care of the kids, did my stuff with the wife for dinner, and then told her I was going back to work.
Okay. So you tell her you're going back to work, and you go to Devan's house. And so you get there, you said about 10 o'clock? So what did you guys do from 10 o'clock until 7 o'clock the next morning? Not necessarily detail,
Yeah.
like generally
We
what,
spent time together.
Okay.
And talked about it. So
did you guys go out to eat? Did you order in? Did you?
it was not even better. Dinner.
Okay. So you ate dinner, you were over there from 10 to 7, you guys did,
Yeah, we did this.
can I say the affair thing?
Yeah, we did this regularly.
You did what?
I did this regularly.
Okay. And your wife didn't know anything until you told her basically Thursday.
Yeah, she found out the next day.
Okay.
I knew guys.
Okay. So you're with Devan all night. You didn't want your wife to know. You left at 7 in the morning. Did you have any contact with her?
We talked on the phone a good majority of the day.
Okay.
Awful one.
Okay. What were the conversations like?
They were pretty normal conversations.
Okay.
Just kind of like what's going on with our day, like how things were going. And we just talk and we just stay on the phone. She'd wear her earbuds.
So you were on the phone for a while, a short time, multiple times?
Multiple times in quite a while.
Okay.
When I wasn't working, we spent most of the day on the phone together in
Okay. Where were you while you were talking to her?
the house.
You were at your house.
And then driving around, talking to her.
Okay, where all did you drive to? Anywhere specific? Did you get coffee or lunch or anything like that?
I don't want to answer those questions without my turn.
Okay. Okay. So you're out driving around, and you're still talking to her on the phone. And then basically, do you ever run into Devan while you're driving around? No, not at all. Were you in the same area as her?
No.
Okay. So Do you know where you told me you didn't want to answer this question, so I'm going to try not to ask them again, but I might. If I do, just tell me the same thing. So you're out driving around and you are still talking to her on the phone. Are you just, what are you looking for when you're driving around? Are you doing anything in particular? Okay. So basically you drive around, you're on the phone, then you go to Hooters, you have lunch. What do you do after that?
I ended up going home. I stayed at home after that, and then she came by to use the bathroom and get some water at the end of her route. And she does my neighborhood.
What time was that?
2-ish, I'm gonna say.
Okay. And then what happened after she got some water or used the bathroom?
And then she left and went back and finished her route.
Oh, she went out and finished her out. Okay. And then,
I'm about my house is about 3/4 of the way through the route.
okay. Okay. So, obviously you gave us your phone. Obviously we're coming back 5 days later to talk to you. Obviously I have a detective here with me. And so it's really important today that we get kind of everything straight. This is kind of like an opportunity to make sure everything you told me we can get corrected. It's important you tell me the truth. You work in a federal correctional institute,
There's some conversations that her and I had when you went attorney present before.
Okay. So you need your attorney present to talk about any of her conversations. Do you know where she was?
When we were talking, I believe she was doing her out.
Okay. What about in the afternoon? Do you know where she went when you weren't on the phone with her? Do you know anything? Do you know what she was doing when there? Nothing at all. You don't know any speculation?
I have the same speculation that everybody has.
Okay.
As soon as I saw the name, who it was,
Okay.
I had the same speculation.
Okay.
She's never told me that she was going to do this.
Okay. So, really, as we go through, the questions I really want to ask you right now, you told me you want an attorney present. So as we go through, I just want to show you kind of some of the things that have come up over the last couple of days. As we go through, this is her car in Walmart. We know this is her car. Okay, this off the license plate reader. That's her car, pretty close to where Jason was killed. We've got.
Did you drop her off at work? You did that morning? Okay, so you dropped her off at the... Okay, I figured you said you didn't want to answer questions about where you went that day, so that's why I'm just asking if you dropped her off at work. Okay, so on the morning of the 13th, you dropped her off at the post office. Okay. Did she ever bring her car over to your house after that?
Her car was parked it was right up the road from my house.
Her car was... Okay. Her car is parked up the road from your house. You had taken her to work. Okay. So did you have to pick her back up from work afterwards so she could get her car?
Yes.
Okay. I'm asking that just because obviously she would need to figure out a way to get back home after that. Does that make sense?
Did you take her to work in your truck?
I took her to work I took her to work in my transit home.
In your what's that?
We get cars from work.
Okay. Do you know what kind of car it was or anything?
It's a Durango.
A Dodge Durango? Okay.
I saw it on the way in. They had like that
The way to go or
something logo on the side. One of those things. Okay. How do those work into the facility? Like, how do you get one of those?
You have to be part of the van pool program, and then
Right.
you loan them out to us, and we drive them, and then the bureau pays money to basically subsidize it.
Okay.
So you're when you were driving around, were you talking on the phone? Were you in your truck or were you in the Durango?
The Durango.
Okay.
And then my truck I switched my truck later on in the day.
To get your kids and stuff?
Yeah. And
Okay.
also I switch it with another guy. He drives it then after that.
Okay. And then when you dropped her off, you said you dropped her off at the post office?
Yeah, post office.
Was that was in the Durango as well?
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then after work, you said her car was near your house?
She parked her car near my house because after work we were going to fool around in my house before my wife got home, and then she would leave in her car.
Okay. So did you picked her up from the post office too?
Correct.
Okay. In your truck?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Who's the other person that gets the car that you're driving?
It's a coworker from work. His name's Walker.
It's what?
His name's Walker.
Walker?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he have it now?
Yeah, he's in.
Okay, he's in it now. Is he working?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I didn't mean to cut
He's
you
not
off at all.
working. He works.
Opposite.
Yeah, he works different shifts than me.
Okay, so it works out that it's one vehicle between you guys. Okay, and he has it now. Okay.
Do you have to sign those cars out when you use them? They're just assigned to a couple of you to use?
Correct.
Or is there like a roster somewhere that has that car assigned to you?
No, it's through the program.
Okay.
I'm the coordinator, so
Oh, okay.
it's just assigned to me all the time. And
So you get to assign vehicles?
yeah,
So you got the good one? Did you get a good one?
I like it.
You can fit in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better than what I had before.
Sure. Okay.
Do you have other questions before I show him a few other things?
No, I'm good. We're going to show you a couple other things.
Okay.
You've already indicated that you don't want to talk to us about a couple of things here. All right, so I'm going to show you a few things and see if you want to talk about it all, okay? I got this a little bigger here. Do you have any idea what that picture is right there?
Looks like GPS.
So those are phone signals coming from your phone down in the Longmont area in the same neighborhood as the shooting with location information for the mailman who was shot that morning. Alright? So we know that you were in Longmont that morning, and I'm not asking that because of you. I'm just asking that to further verify whether or not you had any idea where Devan was at that time. You've already told me that you weren't with Devan at 12:15 like you had previously told us, alright? So the reason I'm showing you this is because we can show that you weren't with Devan, and you can't obviously verify where she was.
Right. What else did you want to show me?
You got nothing to say about this? That's off your phone. 2 days before this happened. Can you explain that? You're a smart guy. I think you know where we're going with this.
Yeah.
So if you want to give us answers, now's the time to give them to us. These investigations move fast. You know that. We get this data fast. You only get a couple opportunities to give us explanations for what's going on. We're trying to find the truth.
So her and I were talking in the morning when I dropped her off at my house, and I didn't necessarily think too much of it. I thought that we were going to fool around after she got off, and because we had done that in the past. After she had gotten to work, or on her way to work, she had called me and told me that she had decided that that was what she thought needed to happen. And she had told me that she had thought about doing this before. Actually, 3 days prior to that, she told me that she was going to do this, and I talked her out of it. So, at that night, she was going to do it at his apartment in the middle of the night. I talked her out of it. I had to go over there and do it face to face, but she didn't do it that night. This morning she told me that she was going to do it, and she told me that she had already had everything that she needed to make it happen, and I tried to talk her out of it. Then she went to work and told me that there was no talking her out of it. So after talking to her, and she's mentioned it in the past, and she has talked about his route because she knows the Longmont routes. So I went out there, I knew his route number, I found him, and I continued to stay on the phone with her to to try to talk her out of it. But I thought that she was going to go there a lot earlier than that. I thought that if I would see her, I could stop her. She kept talking to me and never showed up there. I guess she was casing at the time. So eventually she told me, you know what, don't worry about it. I'm not going to do it. It's fine. I'm going to go back to work. And she hung up the phone with me. At that point in time, I stopped over at his truck and I told him that he should watch out for her because I think she's planning on doing something. I don't think he remembered who I was because he said, what? He just looked at me and goes, what? And I was like, Devin, I said, she's unstable right now and I think that she's going to do something stupid. And he said, I'm not scared of that bitch. And I said, okay. And I left. And at that time I drove home.
Where was that at? Where did that conversation take place?
I don't remember the road. It was on the long straight road.
In Longmont?
Yeah. It was on his route. It was while he was delivering.
How long did that conversation take? How long were you there with him?
Not even 15 seconds. It was just, all I did was stop and say, hey, I said, I said, you're pushing her over the edge. And I said, I think that you should leave her alone. He goes, what? And I said, Devin, I said, she's unstable right now, and I think that you should leave her alone. And he said, and I said, I think she's going to hurt you. And he said, I'm not scared of that bitch. And I said, okay. I left.
Okay, so you talk to him, you tell him, you warn him. So you meet him on that route, you talk to him, and then you leave after that? Okay, you know about what time that was that you talked to him?
Like right before I moved, maybe?
And it was on his route? Okay. And then, so tell me how that goes from there. You leave.
I went back to town and I went to Hooters.
Went to Hooters.
And after hanging out with him for a bit, I went home. And then after I was home and she stopped by, I thought everything was good. She stopped by, didn't really talk about anything too much. She used the bathroom, she got some water, she left. And after she left was when I saw the articles coming on the newsbreak. And then she called me right after that and told me something had happened to Jason. And I said, what do you mean? And then she was like, I don't know, my friend was telling me that something happened to Jason. And so she called her friend, because her friend just texted her like, I'm sorry, or something like that. So she called her and talked to her, and she told her something happened to him. And then she called me, and then she said, she goes, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what it is. And I said, well, should be a daycare. And she goes, well, what if he went and got him? And I said, well, maybe he did. I said, you should try to find out. And so she called the friend back, I think. Somehow, long story short, she said that she was pretty sure that he was at school, I think.
Yeah.
So she called school, and then somehow she figured he wasn't at school. So I told her, I said, call Longmont PD, because the article, I'm pretty sure, is him when your friend's saying that something happened to him. And so she called Longmont PD, and then she said that they wanted her to come in. I said, you should go in.
So she never said anything to you about being in Longmont, talking in Longmont. You never saw her in Longmont. Okay. So you know, based on what we're showing you, with a lot of data.
Yeah, I know it looks better.
Can I ask real quick? So, where'd the gun come from? The only information that we have that when she ever did any shooting was with you.
We only went shooting once, and we shot a 22.
Where at?
At Liberty.
Liberty. So you never gave her a gun, Okay. You never gave her ammunition, never gave her a gun, never shot anything other than a 22 with her. Okay. When she was at your house, she didn't leave anything.
Not that I know, she just went to the bathroom and then I gave her the water bottle and she left.
Okay. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
No conversation about Jason, no conversation about you guys doing anything.
She never mentioned it. And then when she called me afterwards and started talking about, I just seen the article, and then when I talked to her after that, I didn't ask her.
Okay.
I mean,
So it's really important. And understand that there's 70 postal inspectors in Longmont with the 12 or 14 detectives that they have. And we're talking to everybody. We've got Ring doorbell cameras. We've got cameras from banks. We've got cameras from traffic lights. We've got all this stuff going on. We've got your phone, her phone, Jason's phone, other text messages. It's really important at this point that you tell us the truth, everything that's happened.
I just did. That's the truth.
So explain this picture to me. Explain this picture right here in the middle. What's the conversation around that?
So that was the 3 days prior when she told me that she was going to go over there in the middle of the night. And I told her not to. Originally, her plan was she was going to take out Jason, Rosa, and herself. And I begged her not to. I obviously played on the don't take out yourself thing because I can't live without you. And I can't live without you. But I was successful in not getting her to do it that night. I don't know. Part of me felt like she would do it eventually, but part of me thought that maybe she wouldn't.
Did you ever think about calling the police? Saying, hey, this is what's going on?
She's been in this custody battle with him for 5 years, and it's not the first time. Like, she's mentioned it multiple times over 5 years, but she's never done it. So, obviously it's a serious thing. It was also just kind of banter. Like, anytime she was mad at him, it was he needs to go. Like, I need to do that. Usually play it off, or sometimes I play along a little bit and be like, yeah, he is a fucking asshole. But I never thought that she'd actually do it.
Even with all the text messages and you have to go over there, you never thought she'd do it.
She's also told me she's going to kill herself a million times, and she won't put that up.
Okay. And then you never contacted. Did you talk to your buddies about it and Hooters, or none of those guys know?
No, they didn't even know I was having an affair.
Okay. Do they know your wife? And so it was one of those things you're going to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. So you never told anybody about it? Okay. And just kind of going back a little bit, you're following the carrier around and to warn him?
No, I'm following him around because I thought if I saw her, I could stop.
Stop her. Okay. Okay. How come in a rideshare vehicle as opposed to your truck?
That's just what I had at the time. Okay. Sometimes when I use the rideshare vehicle, I just leave my truck at my buddy's house. So that way, if I take one over there, then I drive the other one back.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Can you use that for something other than work or?
Yeah, as the coordinator, we get it for 250 personal miles a month.
Okay. All right. I just want to kind of go through that. I mean, one of the big questions I want to ask, and then, at some point I'll shut up. I'm sorry, but
It's fine.
is
I've accepted over the last few days that I guess in the first night I was still kind of in shock.
that's kind of why you told me what you told me. Did you think about calling me the next day or the day after?
Yeah, I was advised not to. Attorney.
By your wife or what?
No, I've retained an actual
Okay.
attorney,
Okay.
like an actual criminal attorney. She's an attorney, but I retained
Right. No, I got you.
criminal
I got you. We talked about that
Yeah.
Wednesday night. So I just, it's important. I mean, this is kind of your opportunity to talk to us. And so if there's anything else you want to go, do you have any other questions?
Why don't, so, we have your phone. We got your phone records, we have her phone records. Why don't, if this has happened multiple times where she's said that she's going to do this or she needs to do this, why don't we see any text of you telling her not to do this if you've begged and pleaded for her not to so many times?
Usually when I talk to her, like I talk, I don't, I guess I don't text all the time. Like I talk. It's just what I
So there's no documentation of you actually trying to calm her down from going to kill him, even though this has happened multiple times.
I mean, she never told me on text that she was going to do it either. Like, just be through talking.
I'm just trying to find stuff that's going to help you at this point, because you gotta understand, you're telling me that, but I don't have evidence of that. Does that make sense?
Right.
It seems to me we have evidence of all this other stuff, but the stuff that we're missing is that stuff that would help to corroborate what you're telling me with that.
Right. Yeah. I know we always talked about. She never texted me that kind of stuff. It would just be during talking. We did a lot of therapy today, talking all the time. She has her own problems. She has a lot of trauma. But obviously, I did whatever I had to do to get what I wanted.
I don't think I have any other questions. Friend.
Do you have Snapchat? Just bring your own shovel me.
What's what?
Bring your own shovel me. Okay. Okay. Did you delete any phone calls or texts off your phone?
I deleted everything because my wife, when I was talking to her, my wife was not okay with her.
Okay. So that part was true. That your wife doesn't like her.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I can see why.
Yeah, my wife has hated her for 13 years.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We need to step out and talk for a second. You gonna be all right in here for just a minute or two? It won't take
I
long.
have a choice.
You absolutely have a choice.
I'm fine, I'll wait.
Okay. I mean, make no mistake. I mean, you have a choice. We just need to talk real quick. And my phone calls. My boss has asked me to ask this. Can you give us just a couple minutes? Is that all right? He's gonna make a report, okay? And it's just we gotta make some decisions and go from there. Not really our decision. So, if you have questions, you can ask me. If I can answer them, I will. Other than that, I'm not gonna ask anybody at this point. So.
I don't think she was going to go through with it.
What's that?
So I really didn't think she was going to go through with it. I thought when she hung up with me, she was going to go back to work.
When she hung up with you, where was she?
So going there to do what she did.
Okay. You don't know though?
Well, I don't know. She's never told me. And the evidence was there.
This is just pieces. This is just pieces of. I told you there's probably close to 80 people working on this. So these are just kind of quick pieces. I mean, it's not like it's, there's a lot more. That's why it's important when.
Well, now my story's straight now, so I guess whatever happens from here happens. Yeah. This right there.
What do you think should happen to someone who shoots somebody?
It's tough. I've always been an eye for an eye type of person. But in this case, my feelings about that person
I can't hear you, man.
my feelings about that person are different. So
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know what she's gonna get.
What about the people that help her?
I mean,
What should happen to them?
I didn't help her.
I didn't say that.
But I think a lot of things that she had help in this. She knew us all around.
Did you get another phone after I took yours, or you
I mean, this is my wife's phone.
your wife's? Do you have your wife's phone now? Okay. What's she using?
Her work phone.
Oh, okay.
Anything else you want to ask?
I don't. Like living at home right now. Is your wife okay with you being there still?
I'm sleeping on separate floors.
Like the basement part there? Okay. She pretty mad? Alright. It's the first time you've had an affair? And
Well, it's the first time
first time you got caught?
yeah.
Okay. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but yeah, I mean really, it's the first time she knows. Alright. Any of the guys in the ride share, are they aware of anything?
No, their wives are friends with the police. Nobody's aware of anything. Nobody knew.
Okay.
That was one of the things that her and I thought about a lot, is that I might bring her around with friends. She wasn't the type of person that would walk around like to go on friends.
How come?
I'm happy in my marriage. It's just a side thing. Well, there's some enjoyability, but it's not what I wanted for my life. She wasn't
what?
She wasn't that person.
Okay. And I'm sorry, this thing's going on.
Yeah,
I can't hear you.
I understand. I'm just in disbelief of this.
Disbelief in which part?
All of it? Like whenever I worked on this side, but I never thought I'd be a part of any of this stuff. But it's not who I am. It didn't encourage it. I understand that I didn't do enough to stop it. I tried, but I didn't do enough to stop it. But it's just unfair. It was unfair, and this is how it ended.
It's unfair.
It was just an affair.
That was just an affair, okay.
And this is how it ended. Like,
it's kind of where we're at this point. So we're still investigating, still getting stuff back, and as we go through. So
yeah, after you guys left, I thought through what I said. I didn't know why I did that. I only did it because I didn't want my fair to blow up, but
you wanted to keep the affair
from my wife.
from your wife. Okay, from your wife. Not necessarily keep the affair.
No, that was over. Like
Okay.
as soon as I saw it hit news break, I was like, well, that's I wasn't okay with that. It's not.
Right.
I mean, she talked about killing herself, and she talked about wanting to hurt Jason all the time. It was always talk. For 5 years, it was just talk.
5 years.
Since
Okay.
the kid was born. She got pregnant right away. It didn't take her that long before she got pregnant.
Right.
But it was always just venting. She was just venting. There was only one time when I actually thought the suicide might have been right, but she still didn't do that.
You never saw her with a gun or anything like that? No idea where it came from?
No.
Any places you guys would go? If your wife was home or something, like out in the woods or
No, we were always in her apartment.
her apartment?
She was always living on her own, or if not, it was just like her sister or something like that. That wasn't their business.
Okay.
No, pretty much every time was in her place.
Okay.
How long do you think you were following him for?
Most of the morning was when he started his route.
Okay.
Because she told me first thing in the morning when I dropped her off at work that was going to be the day.
Okay. So how much? Where did you start? Where did you find him? How long did you follow him for?
Well, she told me, so the trucks are numbered.
Yeah.
In front of the truck, and she told me each route number.
Okay.
So I already knew which truck it was, so I waited out there to make sure that she would show up, because I dropped her off and she was like, yeah, I'm going to do it today. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, I got everything I need, I'm going to do it today. And I was like, do what? She was like, I'm going to get rid of Jason today. So I don't think that's a good idea. And then she was like, no, I'm done with this. She said that he did something with their parenting agreement, that he was getting full custody and that Rosa was going to step in and be the mom, and that that side of the family was going to be able to provide better for her. She was going to be able to, and so I just kept trying to talk her down.
So where all did you go on this track then? When you're following him around, what was that? What was that like? Like where all did you go?
No, I just followed him.
Okay.
I figured if I saw her car, then I would stop her.
Okay. Where all did he go? What was his route like?
Just did his route.
Okay. So for 2 hours at least, you followed him around, right?
Yeah, part of that time he just went home.
Okay.
So I just sat at the apartment complex.
Just watching him instead of
I wasn't watching him, I was watching for her.
instead of just telling him, look, this is something that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, they're in a custody issue. Like, I love her. I care about her. My thought process was if I could stop her, then I'm not getting involved in their custody stuff. I didn't know Jason. Like, I don't know him.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted her to think it through and be okay.
Okay.
But eventually she said, okay, and she's like, don't worry about it. It's done. I'm going back to work. I said, okay. She hung up the phone. And some of that was kind of weird. I was just like, she just stopped. She was like, okay, if you win, I'm not going to do it. And I was like, you've never given up on anything that easy before. And so I decided to just give him a little warning and went back home.
And you don't remember where he was in the neighborhood when you stopped by his truck?
Can I bother you for just a second?
Yeah.
Can I get that black bag down there by your feet?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So afterward, you pick her up from work and you know at this point that she just shot and killed somebody.
I mean, I don't know, but I saw it on news break that the
Yeah.
postal worker was hurt, and then she told me that her friend said it was Jason.
Okay.
So putting two and two together.
So you're driving around with her afterward. What did she tell you?
Let me drive around.
You picked her up from work.
Oh, and I just dropped her back off where her car was, and I told her I didn't want to talk to her.
Okay, so no conversation. So she's just quiet.
I mean, she was going on about where her kid is, but I told her I didn't want to talk to her, so I let her vent about her kid, and then my recommendation was to call 1-9, and she ended up doing that.
Okay. Afterward, after you dropped her off, you went for a drive later in the evening.
I went and picked up the kids from daycare.
Okay, where's the daycare at?
It's over on 402 and I-25.
Okay.
And then brought them back home. And then at that point, she had called me, and that's when she said she was going to go to Walmart. They wanted her to. So I stayed on the phone with her. I went to get a car wash. And I talked to her while I was doing that, and while I was getting the car wash, she pulled up.
Okay.
When did she give you the number for the truck?
The what?
You said
Oh, the route number?
not the route number, but the number that's actually on the postal vehicle.
She didn't give me that. She just gave me the route number.
Just the route number?
Yeah, the numbers are on the concrete in front of the trucks on the wall.
Okay. So you saw him leave in his van?
Right.
Okay. So the route number, what's on the wall or whatever, and you knew that vehicle he was in?
Right.
Let me call Carlos again.
Yeah, okay. So that's pretty early in the morning. Not early, but
Yeah, it was like 9.
okay. Okay. When did you give him, sorry, I'm processing some of this. When did you give him the warning that you said you gave him? After he was at his house for a while, or
Yeah,
before?
it was when I left.
Okay.
So just told him. And so I there's something back.
Okay.
My buddy was still there, so I didn't meet him.
Okay. Did he text you or you call him or what?
He had texted me and asked where I was at.
Okay. Tell him I'm on my way.
So it'll be there well.
Okay. And that's Brandon.
On my phone, it's Schwartz.
It's what?
Schwartz.
Schwartz? Okay.
We work together at the youth correction.
Okay. Where at?
Platte Valley.
Where, in Greeley? Okay.
So I gave, I'm gonna go with my last names.
Okay. I get that. How long you been here?
6 years. 5 years.
5 years?
5 and 6.
Okay. And you were in Platte Valley for how long?
A couple of years, like 3.
Okay.
And before that was DOC.
Okay. With the state? Where you at with DOC?
Sterling. Transferred from Sterling to Denver. I work at the DRDC in Denver.
Okay. DRDC, that's down by State Patrol? Is that the
one
one?
of them, man, was Camp George West.
Yeah.
That's just a camp though, but that is ran by Denver.
Okay.
The other 2 are Havana and
Smith Road?
2 settlers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what Smith Road is, but
Yeah, it's the road ones.
it's where the jail is too.
Okay. Yeah, where Denver County is, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I know it's hard to talk about this stuff, especially after
It's
already
easier
talked.
now that I've told my wife.
I'm sure. And I could tell that was uncomfortable.
Was very uncomfortable.
That's why I said to you, I mean, if you remember, I'm like, hey, dude, if you want to talk, we can step outside, we go down to the PD, we can, do whatever, because I knew there was more to that than what you were saying.
Well, I mean, afterward, like I was still, I don't know if shock is the right word, but I was still in disbelief that it happened. I didn't think through, I guess, how it looked for me. I didn't do it. Like, I didn't do it. I know how it's looking right now. I know that I didn't do it. So I guess that wasn't my concern. My concern was my marriage.
Sure.
After that, like that night afterwards, I didn't sleep that night. Just lay there thinking about it. And obviously, the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's not gonna look good.
That's part of the reason that we're here too, is it doesn't look good. And that's why, Tati will tell you, look, this is an opportunity. I mean, you still have that opportunity right now. I mean,
Well, now I've come clean. I've told you, and now everything I've said is truthful. Before, when you were at my house, obviously, it wasn't truthful.
was not truthful at all.
Yeah.
It's important that you get kind of everything out. I mean, I know there's some things that you don't want to talk about until you have your attorney, and I get that. But it's really important if there's something else that you let us know. If we aren't asking the right question or something we don't ask, it's really kind of important. This is the point in time where we can talk to a DA and say, hey, hang on a second. So this is that time where, that first statement, I mean, you basically were not telling the truth to a federal agent, right? I mean, do you agree?
I know, I thought about that.
I mean, I know you've signed 1001 statements 100 times, right? I mean, I'm sure you signed one today. You work in a federal correctional institute. So you know you weren't telling the truth to a federal agent.
I know.
So, I mean, that's where it's important, like right now, is really anything more, this is the time. And I mean, anything. And I don't care what it is. If there's something that you're holding back because you're scared to tell me, this is really when the time is.
I mean, everything that I've said has been honest now.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And there's nothing in your house, nothing in your truck.
no, I mean, like I said, unless you were left in the bathroom, which you could search the bathroom. There's nothing
My
else.
wife didn't find anything in the bathroom that belonged to a female. Okay.
No, but like I had to kind of explain it to my wife, and I had to tell her that afterwards she came in and she's not happy about that.
So regardless of the affair side of it, how's your wife reacting to the other side of it?
She's not okay with it.
Not okay with any of it.
No.
Mad as hell at you.
Yeah. Pretty sure my parents was others. We're like we're not talking about it. I'm just waiting. And then, she took a couple days off work and she was sat on the couch and cried herself to death all day. And every single time I walk by, I just have to watch her. She doesn't want to be comforted by me. She doesn't.
Do you kind of understand that?
I totally understand that. Yeah. I don't blame her.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I said I don't blame her.
Okay. She at work today. Okay. She works in Greeley, right? That was Fort Collins. Okay. Okay. Have you talked to anybody about this since we talked, besides your wife?
Just the attorneys.
Okay, okay. Who's the attorney?
Derek Samuelson.
I can't hear.
Derek Samuelson.
Okay, is he in Loveland or?
His office is in Loveland, and then he works with a guy. I can't remember his first name. His last name's Castle. I don't know.
Castle?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna just write that down because I don't want to forget it. It's fine. You said Derek Samuelson.
Correct.
The other dude's name is Castle. But you don't know his first name?
I don't remember his first name.
And he's actually out of Denver?
Yeah. I have his card in my truck.
Okay. I just want to make sure he has that as well. So.
Kind of making the assumption that I might be arrested today.
So I'll be 100% honest with you. That's why he's on the phone.
That's kind of what I assumed. I figured you maybe have some inside info.
I can't hear you.
I said I figured you maybe have some inside info.
He's on the phone right now. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know the answer to that, but it's possible. So that's why.
I know it'll probably be his decision, but if so, can we go out and do it? The car or something. I'm not going to.
That'll be his decision.
I've proven I'm not running from you guys.
Right. So I think you probably have a correction shirt on as well. So you've been super cool with us. It's still gonna be up to him.
You gotta grab me for a second.
Yeah, hang tight. it's not my office, or I'd get you some water or something. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, man.
I'm making the assumption I'm detained right now.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell you.
The only reason I'm asking is because then I could go out and take myself off. What if you just go stand next to your car if I have to?
So, right now,
I do the walk of shame in front of them.
what's that?
I don't want to do the walk of shame in front of my coworker.
I get that. I get that. I mean, you're not being detained right now. We are talking to you. If you were to get up and leave, you know, I mean, first of all, I don't know that I can get out that door right now because I don't have a key to it. We have to knock. So, if you want to get up and walk out there, I'm not going to stop you right now. I can't tell you that you wouldn't be arrested or that you would because I don't know at this point. I'm telling you. It doesn't look good, what you're telling me. Now, I will tell you this. You've been completely cool with us. So, I mean, me personally, I would let you take off the correction shirt. You know, as long as you don't have any weapons on you, I'd let you walk outside. That's me. That's what I would do, and I'll tell him I said that to you so that he hears it. I mean, you've been completely cool with us today. There's no reason for us to do anything more than just kind of walk outside with you, if that makes sense. But I can't tell you what that answer is. If you want to walk out of here, that's up to you at this point. So, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, what do you think should happen? So ask me that, or answer this if you want. What do you think should happen? We've given you a little snippet of what we have. What do you think?
I know how it looks. Obviously, if I was in your shoes, I know the exact same work as you do, but I have a law enforcement mind. Like, I know how it looks, and I know what I would be thinking. Also, I know how I would obviously be approaching it too. So, like, I know what you guys are thinking, and I know where you stand. I know that I was trying to stop her. And obviously, I'm the only one that knows that, and I get that. So,
And let me put it on my side. I have to make the determination whether I believe you or not, that you were trying to stop it.
right.
Wednesday night, I mean, you pretty much lied to me from 8:40 until about 1 o'clock in the morning. Pretty much, not completely. I get it. I get the reasons why. So that's kind of the decision that's being made. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Is do we believe you or not?
I understand why you went away. I believe that from the get-go.
I mean, it's, you know, that's where we're at. And I don't know. I haven't made a decision whether I believe you or not. Based on that, and the reason is I'm sitting here talking to you, yet I've got all this stuff over here. And I'm like, do I believe him or not? And that's the decision that's being made. So, I mean, I'm just being 100% honest with it. I mean, that way Wednesday night, I told you the same thing. I don't know what's going to happen. We got to put a timeline in, and the timeline isn't great right now, Fred. And quite honest,
I guess, can I ask that I go?
What's that?
Can I ask that I go?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, if you want to get up and leave, then
What vehicle are you guys with out there? I'm
I
literally just
came with him.
I'm just gonna go take my stuff off and stand next to your car and wait for you guys. I'll just
Okay.
go and do it in here.
So I came with him, and I believe he's in a black truck. And I'm going to tell you right now, and it's at the end of the parking lot. So I'm not going to stop you right now, but I'm going to go tell him that's what you want to do. And if you want to get up and walk, like I said, that door is closed. So that's up to you. I don't know how much stuff you have on. I mean,
That's all the stuff I still have with me.
you still have what?
That's all the stuff I have with me that belongs to here.
Okay. So, as you were just told out there, with the body cam's going, and you're being detained officially now. So, keep that in mind, even with Miranda and all that. So, if you want to take off your shirt in here, you can. We don't have any weapons or anything like that, right? I mean, I know you're working in here, so.
Yeah, we can't have weapons inside.
Right. And we can leave it here. And I told you I'd do this. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It is what it is. So,
Can can you put my stuff in my truck for me?
I don't think your truck's gonna be here.
Oh, well, can you put my stuff in my truck and they can take my truck so they take it all at once?
What? I don't know if it's still here.
Oh, okay.
So we had a search warrant for the truck. It may be towed already. I don't know. Do you have the keys?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me make a quick phone call, and let me just real quick. Hold on, and then if we could put that in there, what do you want to put in the trunk?
My bag is sitting right outside,
Okay.
and then just my vest and.
Hey man, you guys have the truck? Okay, I have the keys if you want 'em. Okay, so it's still sitting out there. Okay, cool. All right, man. No, hang tight, and we'll figure this out in just a second, and then I'll give you a call back. But he just gave me the keys, so we'll go from there. We're trying to figure out. He wants to get his stuff put in his bag, and his bag put in his truck, so he doesn't have to walk out in his uniform shirt and all that. So but hang tight. I'm waiting on the detective to get back, so we're just trying to make sure we can coordinate that. But in just a minute here, let me get Josh back, and I don't know. Okay, thank you. Bye. So we'll get that figured out in just a second. But if you want to put that stuff over here, that way. Is there anything else? These keys actually stay with the jail, correct? Or the
Yeah, you can give them to the lieutenant at the county.
okay, and the radio, just set them there. I just want you to have a place to fit. The radio, I'm assuming, is theirs as well. Anything else you want to leave?
I'll probably take my wallet with me.
Okay. Did you have your phone on you, or where's the phone?
Yeah, I have it on.
Okay. What's that?
Just a chip.
It's what?
Mine.
It's what?
Just a chip to check out this equipment.
Oh, okay.
Just put it in my pocket or something.
Okay. Where's the phone?
Right here.
Okay. Grab that real quick.
You have a warrant for this? Since it's not mine.
That's fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. That's your wife's law, though.
Yeah, but I'm only detained right now. I'm not under arrest yet.
That is correct. I would ask you not to be on your phone.
Can I text my wife and just tell her?
Not right now.
Detained.
Not right now. Just hang tight, okay? It's not my call. That'll be his call. Detective Burr's call. Okay. I know you want to. I get
I just want to tell her that.
let's figure out what's gonna happen. Okay. And then we'll go from there. I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass. I'm just trying to kind of go along. Yeah, pen.
Yeah, but can I just write down the number on my hand so I don't know it?
Here's my pen. Will that work, or do you want yours?
That works.
Let's do this. You want a piece of paper?
I mean,
Are you good?
yeah,
Okay.
at least then I'll have it.
Have it? Okay. Oh, so you don't keep my pen.
No, let's
Come
have
on
it.
now.
Let's just
I know.
have it.
Trust me, I get it. I get it. Yes, I can get you. I'll borrow or
Can I use that phone?
not the phone, but I can
Oh.
get you a piece of paper.
I mean, at least I'll have this with me.
Okay, I just don't want it to wipe off or. I type it real quick. We're just waiting on the attorney to call back. So. He didn't send a text. I believe you. I just.
I'm gonna shut this off.
What's that?
So I'm gonna shut it off.
All right. And I don't know if we have a warrant for it or not. I just don't know. Like I said, there's a bunch of us working on it, and trying to coordinate.
Do you know if I'm arrested, where they'll be taking me?
So, I don't know. My guess would be Boulder County.
I don't think I can go there.
Huh?
I don't think I can go there
Why?
because I know over half a dozen staff there.
Okay. I don't know is the true answer. We may go back to the PD to figure all that out. And I'm not trying to give you a wrong answer. I'm telling you. I get what you're saying. How come you know the staff there?
I worked with them at some point.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, most of them that I know, there's some that work there that I don't even know work there. People talk to them, oh shit, I know they work there. Maybe I went there last year or whatever.
Right.
But I can name at least 6.
Okay. I don't know is a good answer. And the problem maybe is that could be everywhere. I mean, you've been doing this a while, right? Almost 10 years.
Yeah. Boulder, I know the most. That's the
Okay.
problem. Like more than anywhere, obviously here, but yeah.
But it is their jurisdiction, so it's also.
I mean, they can do whatever they want. I
I know.
know a bunch of the staff
Right.
there, so I don't know if that's an issue or not. It's definitely going to be an issue for me.
Sorry for the wait.
It's fine.
Are you good if I ask you a couple more questions?
Yeah.
So you said this has happened a couple of different times. Walk me through Devan's planning for these incidents. What was her plan?
She never had planning. It was just, she would get upset, spur of the moment. It was never like planned out.
Okay, so how many times did this happen where she said, hey, this is it, I'm gonna go kill him, and you had to talk to her and say, no, don't do it, don't
The
go
only
kill
time
him?
that she specifically said that this was it, I'm going to do it, was 3 days prior to this incident.
You told me this happened more than once, where she had told you that she wanted to,
Well, she
to
was
kill him,
saying
and you
that-
had to talk her
she
down.
was saying that like I needed to get rid of him or whatever, but like I said, that was just like banter. That wasn't like for real. Like I have everything I need. I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah.
It was just like he pisses me off, or he did this, or we had this run in today, or something happened that she would just be like, I'm so pissed off, like, and then she'd make whatever comment she made about it. It wasn't always killing him. Sometimes it was hurting him. Sometimes it was
Okay.
running away, just disappearing. It was a whole bunch of different things.
But not something that you had to talk her down for until this incident.
Until 3 days prior, she said she was just going to go over there middle of the night and everybody was going to go.
Okay.
And that's the one I talked her down from. That was the first time that, like, that's when
Yeah.
I realized that's when she showed me that she had
Yeah.
this stuff, or that she had her outfit.
You're a correctional officer.
Correct.
I imagine you got a lot of buddies in law enforcement.
Correct.
Okay.
I have a lot of them work out. I was just telling them.
So you know that she wants to kill this guy. So much so to the extent that you go down to where his mail route is to keep an eye on him just in case she shows up so that you can confront her. She tells you over the phone that she's done, it's passed, I'm not going to do it, which you found odd, but you still hung up the phone, just told him, hey, look out, and took off.
So when I took her that morning, when I took her to the post office, that's when she told me that was going to be the day.
Yeah.
And she was never like so specific like that. And she said, I already have everything I need. And I said, what are you talking about? And she was like, I have everything I need. I can do it today. She never told me what she had. She never told me what she needed. She didn't tell me any of that stuff. She was like, the way that she was saying it,
Yeah.
it was obvious that it has escalated to being an actual serious problem. And 3 days prior to that is when she sent me the picture.
Okay. But you didn't feel like it was serious enough to notify the police, say, hey, she's going to kill this guy. Why didn't you tell anyone?
It's 2020, but I thought I could talk her down again. I talked her down prior to this.
Okay.
I thought I could stop her if I saw her. I just needed to see her. Like, if we were face to face, she would have. She's depressed. She's had a lot of depression issues. She sees a therapist about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's slightly bipolar and has those like not personality issues, but like she definitely is bipolar. Like, she'll flip on me.
Yeah.
But whenever we're face to face, she calms down. I thought if I saw her, I could calm her down, and she would do it. Like she would snap out of it.
Okay.
But our conversations that morning were not. They weren't normal conversations.
You were on the phone with her for like 2 hours and 40 minutes while you were down there in the neighborhood. So what are you talking about during that time?
I'm trying to talk her out of it.
You're trying to talk her out of coming down to where you are and killing someone.
I mean, when you put it that way, yes, it wasn't necessarily where I am, because I guess that was. She didn't know I was there. Like, I'm just trying to talk her out of it. But I had a feeling.
But she knew you weren't at your house because she stopped by at your house. So she didn't ask you where you were? What did you tell her when she asked you where you were?
She did ask me where I was.
Okay, what did you tell her?
I told her I was out at lunch with my friends.
Okay. At lunch at 9 in the morning? She believed that you were at Hooters at 9 in the morning?
She believes that I was with my friends at 9 in the morning. She believed I was with my friends most of the morning.
Okay. After all this happened, who did you tell? Because I know that you didn't tell my partner here when he came to your house and asked you about it. So who did you tell? Because you knew that she went down there and that she killed this
The
guy.
only person I've talked to about any of this afterwards was my attorney.
Okay. And you told them that Devan killed this guy and you
I
know
didn't
that
tell
you were
him that
involved.
he killed him. I said,
Okay.
this is the case. I said, she's been charged. I said, the truck was there at my house.
Okay.
And I gave him my series of the day, like my timeline of the day.
Okay. So you didn't tell him what Devan did. You just said what Devan has been charged with.
I didn't, she never told me that she did it.
Okay.
Like, I can't say that she did. Like, she didn't. She never actually told me what she did.
Okay. But you obviously knew what she was intending on doing if you took it so seriously that you went all the way down there. So you knew that she intended on killing him. That was the plan that she had relayed to you.
Right.
Okay.
I knew that she was intending. I didn't know she was intending. Like, and I knew that she was talking about it that morning. I didn't know she was actually
Okay.
carry it out.
So besides your attorney, so after she gets arrested and all that stuff goes down, she gets charged. Besides your attorney, though, who did you tell?
That's it.
You didn't tell your wife.
No.
No,
my wife is
the woman that you're having an affair with just went down and killed her ex.
We've been talking about the affair more than anything.
Okay.
She's upset.
But the murder didn't come up in your conversation.
No, because she doesn't. She hates Devan. Like, hates her. She's hated her for a long time, so she doesn't want to talk about her.
Probably sounds like she has a reason to hate her.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah,
If we're being fair. Okay.
Yes. So she doesn't want to hear about that stuff.
Okay.
She's obviously had to hear what she had to hear about the affair, but she hasn't been doing well. So for like 2 days, she just sat on the couch and wouldn't talk to me.
Okay.
And we're sleeping on different floors right now, so.
Tell me about Jason. What do you know about Jason?
I don't know Jason. I think I've met him twice in his life. I know what she tells me. And what she tells me is just that he's been abusive to her in all these different ways, whether it's psychological, physical, there's a whole bunch of ways. But I've never seen it. I've never been around it. I don't know him.
Okay.
Now I guess I've met him 3 times in my whole life. The third time being when I told him what I told him. But
Yeah.
prior to that, once was probably about 2. I helped her dad move a washer and dryer to his apartment.
Okay.
And after, the only other time he came over probably like 8 or 9 months ago. I literally was just standing outside and he just said, "What's up?" He didn't say a word to me. And that's all I've ever done. Otherwise, I don't know him personally. I've never talked to him, or I don't even have his number. I don't know that stuff.
Okay. You just mentioned that you don't like Devan all that much either.
Honestly, not now.
Okay.
I love Devan. You know, I have. I've known her for 13 years. Like she's somebody that I care about.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not very happy with her that I'm in this position because she made a decision that she made.
Okay. Even though you have a bunch of guys who work law enforcement, all kinds of people that you could have told that, look, I'm involved in this, you didn't tell anyone. You did think she was going to do it. You went down there to warn him.
Right.
You went down there, not just to warn him, you went down there and you waited. If what you're telling me is true, if I'm supposed to believe what you're telling me is true, you're saying that you went all the way, you believed it so much to the extent that you went all the way down to Longmont after you had spent the night with her to go down there and sit and follow a mail truck around for 2 or 3 hours. That's how much you believed it. And you didn't tell anyone else. That's what I'm supposed to believe? Where did the gun come from?
I have no idea. I assume it happened, so I don't know whose it is.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this, okay? And I think you understand why. All right? I don't think it's hard to come to the conclusion that I'm having a hard time coming to terms with your story right now. What purchases did you make that day? Sure.
No, I don't mean it today. I mean my firearms. If you catalog all my firearms, you can check them all against FFLs.
Okay.
If that's what you're implying, that it's mine, it's not mine.
I'm trying to figure there's no way that you can tell me that you didn't believe that her threat to go down there and kill him was serious.
I mean,
I'm just saying, by your actions that morning, that tells me you absolutely believed it was a serious threat.
that morning is the first time that I thought, like, that I had the feeling that she might actually do it.
Okay.
And I'm not, because I have the feeling, like, yes, hindsight's 20/20. I should have done more. But I believe that if I saw her, I could stop her, and if I didn't have to worry about getting involved in those two, I might not mess up her custody battle. I tried to convince her to keep a level head. I was not successful.
Okay. Now, even when she got off the phone with you, you told me yourself, she got off the phone with you, she said, all right, don't worry, it's passed. And even you said that you know her well enough to know that that's a bunch of bull.
She doesn't usually do that.
She doesn't do that, right? So you knew the thought was still in her head.
I 100% knew the thought was still in her head.
Okay.
I thought,
Yeah, you still
I didn't
hung up
know
the
it was
phone.
going to be right then. I didn't know that that's what hanging up on me meant.
Right.
I thought she was going to go back to her route for the day. She'd finish it off. We'd continue this on later on. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. I didn't know that she was going to. That's what hanging up.
So you knew she was still thinking about it. You went in the conversation with her. You drive by him and have a quick little 15-second conversation with him. Please remind me, what did you say to him?
I just told him, I said, hey, you need to look out for Devan. Like, I'm worried that she's going to do something stupid. And he goes, what? And like looked at me like I don't think he recognized who I was. I think he was confused because I mentioned her name.
Okay.
And I said, Devan, I think she's unstable and she might do something to you. And he was like, I'm not afraid of that bitch. And I said, okay, man. And I left.
Done all that you can do at that point.
I mean,
and you went to Hooters and had lunch.
Like I said, I thought that she went back to her route. I gave him his warning. Like I said, 3 days prior, she had talked about the middle of the night. I was still planning on doing my part, trying to trying to get her to realize that that's not a rational of dealing with things.
Okay.
I thought that I was successful at the time, and I wasn't, and I thought that I could continue, or at least convince her later on that that's not what needs to happen.
So what if I told you that there are people that said that even though you and Jason didn't have a lot of contact together, they, from their understanding, there's tension between you and Jason, specifically because of the situation with Devan. We said that they feel very personally that you specifically had it out for Jason.
How and why? What's the motive there? What do I stand to benefit from that?
He was with the girl that you're apparently with.
It's not with.
They have a kid together. They spend time together.
They don't spend time together, but I could care less. She also cheated on me with 2 other guys throughout this whole time. I didn't do anything.
Is it really cheating on you though if you're with your wife?
No, and that's why I didn't care.
Yeah.
My point is, I wasn't the only person that she was sleeping with, and I wasn't upset about that. Like, I didn't care. Like that, she was a side piece.
Were you scouting out that area for her to come down?
She already knew his route. She already knew his route. She was at his case.
That wasn't my question.
Prior to that.
That wasn't my question.
No, I was not.
How do you know she was this route weeks prior to that?
She told me that she got kicked out of the post office before that by some lady at the post office because that lady was his secret post office girlfriend, somebody she worded it. And she was there picking up her mail, and she said that when she walked by his case, some lady chased after her and told her that she had to get out of the post office. That's what she had told me. And obviously thinking back, that's what I'm assuming it was. She already knew his route. She told me his route a bunch of times. That's how she told me that number.
She knew the route number. Did she ever deliver that route? Do you know?
I don't know if she delivered it. She said that he's been on that route forever. When she originally told me the route number, she said he's been on it literally forever.
She knows the route. She knows what route number.
She knows the route too. I mean, she worked at the post office, at that post office.
Okay.
But she, I guess, talking to him. I don't know if they talked about the route or what. But she'd already knew the route.
What do you think she's telling us?
I have no idea.
What do you think she said?
I have no idea.
Why didn't you call him back the next day when you know what we're looking into? You know the seriousness of it.
Because my attorney advised me not to speak to him.
What did your attorney call us?
Say my client might have information in a rather high-profile investigation.
I guess he's waiting on.
Because you lied blatantly to that guy,
I know, I've already talked to him about that.
and your wife is no excuse for that.
I know, I've talked to him about that.
Well, I'm talking to you about it now. I understand you guys may have had a chit-chat about it, but I'm asking you about it now.
I told him that I made a mistake on what I told him. I was trying to cover up the affair. I wasn't a part of this like it looks like I am. So when he was there, yes, I realized the car was out there, and she said that she was there, and so I understood why my house was being searched. It's not that I didn't understand it, but I didn't comprehend the fact that this was going to go to where it is now, because I wasn't part of it. I know that
You were on the phone with her almost the whole time. How are you not a part?
Every day, you can look at my records every day. I'm on the phone with her every day, all day.
Yeah, but this day you were specifically talking to her about her going down there and killing someone.
No, I was not.
You just said you were trying to talk her down from doing that, so you weren't talking to her
I
about
wasn't
that?
talking about her going and killing somebody. I was talking to her about not making a decision.
So you made a random trip down to Longmont that had nothing to do with the mailman. So you didn't think that she was on her way down there to kill somebody.
What I thought.
Why did you go down there to follow him around if you didn't think that's what she was going to do?
Because I wanted to stop her if she came out there.
So you did think she was on her way to
But
go down there to
I
kill
didn't
him.
discuss with her about going and killing somebody. I'm trying to talk.
But you said she talked about that before. You said that you had to talk her down from that On more than one occasion. That was the first thing you told me. You said you had to talk her down from that on more than one occasion, and each time you were successful. And then this last time when I asked you about it, you said this is the only time that it got this far that you had to talk her down. Because the other times now are just banter. So the other times didn't happen, but this is the only time that you've had to try to talk her down.
I told you 3 days prior I had to.
Correct, that one. Okay, I'll give you that one. Yes, you said that one 3 days prior. You had to talk her down from that one. Ever said you were there multiple times when you've had to talk her down. So now it's just the 3 days prior, and then the day that she finally does this. So only 2 times now.
Correct. The other times I told you I didn't talk her down. It was just, we were just talking. Like, that was never serious. She never came at me in the way that she came at me that day, where she was like, I already have everything I need. Like, that was never something that she said.
What does she mean by that? What stuff did she have?
I don't know. She didn't tell me. All she said was that
She's talked to you about this before. You've had to talk her down. So what was her plan?
I don't know. Well, I assume her plan was whatever ended up happening. I don't know. She didn't tell me her plan. She knew that I wasn't going to be okay with it. That's not who I am.
And yet you had to go down there and find him and warn him in person because you didn't know what she was going to
I
do.
didn't originally intend on warning him.
You were just going to follow him for 3 hours like a stalker?
That's how it looks. That wasn't the intention, but yeah.
Because you didn't know
Because I
that
thought
she was going to go do that.
Show up.
So either you did take her seriously or you didn't take her seriously. It's one or the other.
I already told you I took her seriously enough that I stayed on the phone with her and tried to convince her that these are not good options. These are not good ideas and solutions to her problem.
Okay. Do you understand where I'm getting the conflicting ideas here?
And I told him the same thing. I understand. I work in a career where I do investigating of stuff that goes on here, and I get what you're seeing, and I get why you're thinking what you think. I totally understand. That's why I pretty much already understand where everything's going to go. I know that I didn't do that on purpose, and I know that the evidence doesn't necessarily say otherwise. But I also know that I've never been complicit with it, and I've never told her that I want her to do it, and I've never been okay with it. So, I like I said, I know the stuff that's on.
You just helped her cover it up afterwards by not telling anybody and by lying about it.
I
think about what you say here.
I did.
Because I already know the answers you gave that man the other day.
Correct. I did lie to him about the stuff so that I could try to cover up my marriage or my affair to save my marriage.
And in doing so, you covered up
But
Devan.
my intention was not to try to alter or cover.
But that's what you did. That's exactly what your lies did. Do you understand that?
I understand what you're saying. That's my answer.
Do you have any more questions?
I don't.
Okay. All right, you're under arrest. Go ahead and stand up. Place your hands behind your back.
Is it possible to do that out in the parking lot?
No, stand up for me. We'll figure out what we need to as far as your. Do you have a uniform shirt on underneath this? You took it off already. Okay. Now go ahead and face this gentleman right here for me. Two handcuffs. Yeah. Yep. What all do you have on you right now?
Just my wallet.
I'll have my officer outside double lock this when we get out there, alright? Listen, I have a key here. Actually, hold on. I might be able to do it here. You got one? So we're taking your truck, just so you know. Your bag. Sign my bag.
Okay. Does it have your name on it, that black one?
This is my name on it, yeah, it's a black one. Some guy was on the top one, it's a black one.
Okay. Hang on, just hang on 1 second. Stay right there. The folder, you know, he's out there. We can probably come back in.
Yeah, so normally we can in person first, but this is 5 minutes, please. Dude, this is a murder case. I know. All right, let's get out.
Devan Schriener was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Andrew Ritchie was also found guilty by a jury and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.